Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
Ice raids crazy. Ice raids crazy. You've seen them ice raids lately. Ice raids crazy. They kidnap men and the ladies. Ice raids crazy. And separate them from they babies.
Ice raids crazy, tearing up dreams in the night, kicking down doors, flashing light, causing fright. Mama in the kitchen, baby crying in her arms. Agents storm in, yeah, they sounding their alarm. Who the real criminal when they snatching up the meek? Chains on the innocent, silence on the weak. They call it law, but I call it co-abduction. Ripping souls apart, yeah, that's government corruption. Land of the free, man, that's a contradiction. Cause freedom got conditions in this twisted jurisdiction. White man came, took the land, drew borderlines. Now they calling Mexicans illegal, that's another crime. Ice raids crazy, kidnapping in broad daylight. Separating families, that's wrong, it ain't right. Tears on the pavement, kids with no translation. America preach love, but they practice damnation. False news paint black and brown faces as a threat. But we the hardest workers, bleed sweat, living in debt. Building skyscrapers, mowing lawns and serving plates. The same ones they hate keep America great. It's hypocrisy with badges, patriot disguise. Call it national security, but it's genocide. Stolen land, stolen lives, stolen pride. The truth don't hide, it bleeds from the inside.
Ice raids crazy. Ice raids crazy. You've seen them ice raids lately. Ice raids crazy. They kidnap men and the ladies. Ice raids crazy. And separate them from they babies. Ice raids crazy.
Ice raids crazy, propaganda so sick. Fox News talking lies, playing politics. They say protect the border, but they guarding the ghost. From Tijuana to Texas, it's stolen land coast to coast. You can't deport the people from their native land when your racist flag flew in with a bloody hand. Cages and babies, what kind of nation is that? The cries echo loud, but they turning their backs. If the law is unjust, then justice ain't lawful. A badge on your chest don't make you Godful. They label them illegal, man, that word is obscene. Remember the first these were wigs and they called it the American dream. Ice raids crazy, it's a modern day lynch. History repeats, America don't flinch. Ripping roots from the ground, they call it immigration. It's really reincarnation of colonization. They say we all human, same blood, same beat, but they judge by the border and the color of your feet. No heart, no mercy, no ounce of grace. Just politics of fear in a racist face. From Rio Grande to the California coast, they hunting my people, good people, ghost of the ghost. Black and brown unity, we all grew up. If you don't like it, take your dog ass back to Europe.
Ice raids crazy. Ice raids crazy. You've seen them ice raids lately. Ice raids crazy. They kidnap men and the ladies. Ice raids crazy. And separate them from they babies. Ice raids crazy. Ice raids crazy. Ice raids crazy. You've seen them ice raids lately. Ice raids crazy. They kidnap men
ISUPK, Trinidad and Tobago, under Commanding General Yohana. We will be live on the streets, 91.9 FM.
One West to the death till they bury me.
Every Thursday from 7 p.m. Hosted by Officer Sawapya Allah and Officer Makwaya.
One West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me.
ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Live every Thursday night from 7 p.m. on the streets, 91.9 FM.
Wagwan Priest, you good? What's going on? Listen, man, I'm hearing you, man, you ISUPK brothers be talking about the Jacobites that was in Scotland were originally black. You, man, ain't reaching that.
Listen, put that on the TV right there. You'll see it. This is the transportations. If you look right there, it will let you know Robert Adam, brown, William Bow, black, Dougal Campbell, brown complexion, black, brown. I see brown, black, brown, black, brown. This is all the Jacobites that was shipped out of places like Ireland and so forth. This is the transportations. Right. So this is giving you the complexion of the Jacobites that was shipped out of these places to Barbados and other islands in the West Indies.
Yo, that's mad. So it's saying what? Robert Adams was a labourer and he was what? Brown faced. William Bell was what? Black, curled hair. Damn. That's deep, man.
Which means what as well? Which also means black people was in Europe. Why? Because they ruled the Dark Ages. So that's why they was in Europe.
You man are cold at history, man. All right, man. Shalom.
I've been eating pot belly, greasy face, Glock heavy. See the safe talking shit, do not tell me. I don't wanna see the hate, all that shit do not help me. I'm just trying to plead my case to the most high. Pray I see the gates. I was about to Cancun, but we just got the house instead. Covered all of their payment and now she got the bobblehead. Looking at me like dinner, she said she about to gobble lead. Point the beam like a pencil and then you gotta swallow lead. Point the beam like a pencil and then you gotta swallow it. Pack my bag with essentials, I can't forget the hollow tip. Niggas losing they mental and Satan come demolish it. Niggas all on they menstrual and get the whining like a bitch. Just like iron, they rust. Niggas trying, they luck. Keep it real, everybody out here lying. Save us, steady raising dead. They was out here lying, then dust. Niggas on my head, so the brotherhood is a must. Any hood, I be riding with my brothers that I trust. Know I'm good, cause they slime with their fingers on the clutch. Money piling like I'm trying to make it stack in a rush. One West to the death, and that ain't even enough, cause I'm coming back. I ain't never done with dad, going ahead and spread your lies. I'ma let you run with dad, wanting me to spread the thighs. I ain't having fun with dad, nigga, hell no. Now she wanna chop it up like a lumberjack. Got some exes popping up, trying to run it back. Want me come and hit the hole like a running back. If the Lord take a soul, ain't no coming back. On my soul couldn't fold like 100 racks. I'm down for my niggas, I up for my niggas. I go and do the time, stay stuck for my niggas. I ride for my niggas, I die for my niggas. One West to the death, no lie, little nigga. I'm down for my niggas, I up for my niggas. I go and do the time, stay stuck for my niggas. I ride for my niggas, I die for my niggas. One West to the death, no lie, little nigga.
The full Nicky on my waistline like a big nigga. No limit, I'm a tank, close game, hit different. We focus on who around, not concerned with who's missing. My boots digging, never been a house shoe. She don't like it, but she love me. I can tell when she want me. Tell, then I zip the body bag like a onesie. I'm dropping every day, let my feel clumsy. Through the pain, but we don't find shit funny. I know enough that I don't know shit. It's one thing I know this. Never bite the hand that feeds you. Never lend a whole shit. We don't want half of the world, man. We coming for this whole shit. But in the world, I was known to pack a bag like a road. I'm in the den with the lions. I be living this in real life. Ain't every
niggas. I go and do the time, stay stuck for my niggas. I ride for my niggas. I die for my niggas. One West to the death, no lie, Lord nigga. I'm down for my niggas. I up for my niggas. I go and do the time, stay stuck for my niggas. I ride for my niggas. I die for my niggas. One West to the death, no lie, Lord nigga.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
ISUPK, Trinidad and Tobago, under Commanding General Yahana. We will be live on the streets, 91.9 FM.
West to the death till they bury me.
Every Thursday from 7 p.m. Hosted by Officer Sawapya Allah and Officer Makwaya.
West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me.
ISUPK under Commanding General Yahana. Live every Thursday night from 7 p.m. on the streets, 91.9 FM.
ISUPK presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. You do not want to miss this one, Israel. Shalom.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're
ISUPK presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. You do not want to miss this one, Israel. Shalom.
Dear hater, you for real hater? Must not be on like you say, must not be getting no real paper. One West, nigga. Dear hater, you for real hater? Must not be on like you say, must not be getting no real paper. Nigga can't have more than you, you know them niggas will still hate you. Those are characteristics
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All black Hispanics and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping. Right back at you again. Officer Shapat Dayakin. Dropping something heavy for these cowards out here. Yeah. Coming straight from 125th, 1 West, Harlem, New York. Home of the truth, nigga. Man of war with hair wool, no idols, loving judgments. God of the Bible, the men above me shout, Hum Yasha, and all the warriors be like, Hum Yasha. Kingdom's ours, all the heathens forbidden. The chosen bow down to no one, it was written. The men above me shout, Hum Yasha, and all the warriors be like, Hum Yasha. All day as we discuss how they don't like us. Cabins on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping. Cause a scene, you gon' see how brotherhood is a weapon. Tough skin protect our wrists. Teach girls and kids devoutness. Call them prophetess, a priest damn near nothing without it. More than rubies, cute and understanding when describing. Virtue loving, no lip from the daughters of Zion. Gold teeth, earrings, chains, and the rings. Precious metals, fabrics, emphatic stones, and everything. Trying to catch the slang, rewind what we rappers slang. Lost in parables, the scripture breakdowns terrible. Yasha Allah, Prince of the power, we are the Jews. God on earth, you can see it by watching all our moves. Man of war with hair wool, no idols, loving judgments. God of the Bible, the men above me shout, Hum Yasha, and all the warriors be like, Hum Yasha. Kingdom's ours, all the heathens forbidden. The chosen bow down to no one, it was written. The men above me shout, Hum Yasha, and all the warriors be like, Hum Yasha. Man of war with hair wool, no idols, loving judgments. God of the Bible, the men above me shout, Hum Yasha, and all the warriors be like, Hum Yasha. Kingdom's ours, all the heathens forbidden. The chosen bow down to no one, it was written. The men above me shout, Hum Yasha, and all the warriors be like, Hum Yasha.
The ISUPK presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. You do not want to miss this one, Israel. Shalom.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All black Hispanics and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
With the thumb. What's going on, Akim? Yashima Tabashim Yashai to all the sisters. Y'all know we rocking back again Wednesday, boy. Hump day. No, listen, I'm in a good mood. Like I heard of this place called Davos. I was like the only time I've heard Davos before was in Game of Thrones, so I thought it was yeah. I was like, Davos? You know, they're going to tell me about the girl with no name.
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Davos.
Go ahead, Cam.
Davos is where all the money was, right?
Davos is where, I think, no, Davos was the name of one of them men. But they had another place named Bravos. That's where all the fucking money was.
Yeah.
But there was a man in there named Davos, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, brother, I watched that thing. Them devils is feeling like niggas tonight.
Yeah,
they're feeling like a people who this is not supposed to be us. We are the we the upper echelon of society, and if Trump is allowed to continue doing this to us, we are going to be it's too much. We can't They don't like it at all.
You saw the text message that the French Prime Minister Macron sent Donald Trump.
Okay,
Trump put his whole thing online.
Listen, I heard so much today. That's how I know I'm getting old. Listen, I've looked for this damn speech with the Canadian one for about an hour, and I just watched the thing today. I know he said okay, that's the one where Trump reply and say, "I'll just tax your champagne and your wine."
No. I don't know if he replied like that, but Macron, he was literally trying to take Trump out. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like Macron. I mean, he sound like a woman.
Oh, you remember I've been saying that? I've been saying France is the bitch of everybody. Because he has no power. Remember, I've been saying that, like that Macron, he's fair game. What the young people? He DTF. He down to, you know what I mean?
Anything,
he DTF. He DTF on site. He's the broad that drink the Hennessy bottle with no chaser. That's Macron. Yeah, I mean, he whatever. But okay, even him, he pulled back. They're saying it was such a shock because they say usually they called him the Trump whisperer because over the last year he was the one like giving Trump compliments, trying to stroke his ego.
Yep.
When he was trying to stroke his ego and give him compliments, and they're saying, oh, he says something today that is like, it's saying even him is like saying Trump is doing too much.
Yeah. Now they're feeling like how America felt when England was basically taking advantage of them.
Yes.
Now
yes.
they're feeling that.
Now they know.
Man.
Now they
Yep.
know. And more, now they feel how blacks and Hispanics feel, or at least they think they're gonna feel like that. They think they're gonna feel like that, brother. That I mean, I probably need. I think this is the event gonna finally get me on TikTok because I think after watching that Canadian president, brother, that nigga tried to put in so much political terms how much Trump is bullying them, and he's taking away all the power. And he's like, either we be a victim or we fight back, and that's unfair. I'm like, well, now we know what it means to be a nigga. Now he understands what blacks and Hispanics go through all the time, and it's good he doing it to them. It's good he bullying them.
Yeah, you saw the video too of Stephen Miller.
No,
when Stephen Miller told he was doing a news it was on some news set. And he basically tell them, yo, Greenland can't defend themselves. They can't do anything. You understand? So, you know what I mean? You say over the 500 years of treaty, if you can't do that, then, you know what I mean, why have this? So he's like basically saying, yo, we are the military. You ain't got nothing. Give it up.
Yeah.
And to the point where a Denmark parliament person come out and say he has the mentality of a rapist.
Oh,
I was like, yo,
what one of them men? I forget where he from. It might be that same Denmark politician. One of them get up in front the United Nations, not the United Nations. Is it the EU or it might be the same gathering? And he said, "I have 2 words for Trump when it comes to Greenland. Fuck off."
Wow.
Then the chair of the meeting come back and say, about 5 minutes after, he say, that's wrong. We have rules here. We don't use cuss words and some. You could hear him stammering, and it sounds like he make up a rule that they can't use foul language. And I have no doubt that America done call the chair and say, you better check that nigga on air because we ain't going for that this round.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We ain't going for none of that this round. Don't let what Minnesota governor doing make you feel you could just come up here and use profanity against me. I'm Donald Trump, goddammit. Yeah. You know what I mean? I done built this military up and I'll use it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you see what he did with that woman from Venezuela, the one who wanted to be the president.
Oh, he took her.
She gave that John up. I mean,
I think he take it back. You're giving Trump a lot of credit. I think that just say, let me see your Peace Prize. I've never seen one. You know it's going to school. Hey, let me see. Oh, that's new. Your parents got this. Let me see it. Oh shit! Thank you for giving it to me. I appreciate it. She ain't get that nigga shit back. Took that shit.
He did the same thing like what he do with the World Cup, with the Club World Cup, when he took the trophy. Go ahead, Kapash.
No, so like I said, I was going to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, so he hit her with the old New York trick. Growing up, we was always heard about New York. Like, if somebody asks you what time it is, don't tell them. What time is it? You're saying, oh yeah, you lift your watch up. It's my watch now.
Yes, it's a dog. You'll be safe. Nothing plugged up over there. Yeah, listen, Bakwash just telling me Putin did that to some NFL player. The owner? Okay, so which team was it? So the Patriots won the Super Bowl. Somehow he meet Putin. Putin said, "Let me see your ring," and put it in his pocket and walk the fuck off.
Damn.
He said, "I'm a patriot now."
Oh man, listen, it's beautiful watching these oppressors turn to their real self.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
You know what I mean?
I'll put the video in the I don't know if you want to play a little bit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't know if you could.
Yeah,
okay, and then I could get an article and read it. So YouTube don't think, you know what I mean, we calling him that is one of the brothers calling him that.
Yeah, where you want me to play from the Stephen Miller one? The whole thing?
You can play the whole thing is short. It's like one,
short.
I think it's yeah.
Okay,
but,
no,
yeah,
sure.
he says a whole lot in that 1 minute and whatever minutes he had there.
Oh, they got time. Huh? They got time.
No, but this Stephen Miller, brother, I'm telling you, in the kingdom, he had to get, you know what I mean, he had to get singled out there. This, he has no conscience. None whatsoever.
He's just a white man talking behind a curtain. He ain't, you know, he don't really get it. Yeah, I don't know too much about him. I only recently really, you know, he come up on my radar. You know what I mean? I ain't really know too much about him. I gotta look him up some more, for sure. But let me go ahead and play it.
Greenland is essential for America's national security. The new domain of international competition is going to be polar competition. That is where more and more resources are being spent by our nation's adversaries and rivals, is the ability to control movement, navigation, lanes of travel in the polar and Arctic regions. Greenland is 25% larger than Alaska. Greenland is the size of 1/4 the continental United States. With respect to Denmark, Denmark is a tiny country with a tiny economy and a tiny military. They cannot defend Greenland. They cannot control the territory of Greenland. Under every understanding of law that has existed about territorial control for 500 years, to control a territory, you have to be able to defend a territory, improve a territory, inhabit a territory. Denmark has failed on every single one of these tests. So they want us to spend hundreds of billions of dollars defending a territory for them that is 25% bigger than Alaska at 100% American expense. But they say, while we do this, it belongs 100% to Denmark. It's a raw deal. It's an unfair deal.
The way he's sounding, you would think Greenland is not part of NATO. Greenland fall under Denmark. They're part of NATO.
Right.
So what he told that come with the package. Say but how he's saying it, you would not even think they fall under that umbrella. You know what I mean? Which then you know that, you know what I mean, these bastards here will, you know what I mean, will change up anything on any day to suit what they want. Their narrative. But if you want to read this article quick here. It said the Danish MP says Stephen Miller should be kept away from young women after Greenland comments.
Wow.
A member of Danish parliament has sparked controversy by claiming White House advisor Stephen Miller should be kept away from young women and has the mentality of a rapist after Miller suggested the U.S. should take control of Greenland. Trump's deputy chief of staff made the comment on Fox News on Needs Date, arguing that Denmark cannot defend Greenland and cannot control the territory of Greenland. Like, you know what I mean? Like, white people know white people. That's one thing I know. They know each other. And if he's saying that, brother, you know what I mean, this dude right here, I'm telling you, you know, watch him, he gonna be, you know what I mean, he'll be doing something, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, to the point where you won't be shocked, you know what I mean, with all, you know what I mean, call these meals Caucasian males do.
Yeah,
when in
listen,
power.
it's all right. They're absolutely right, Doc. The way he speak, his hubris. Hubris is an old word that means pride. His hubris is there, how he pushing his lips, and he's like, frankly, something. Like, you know, he's the one who he needs the protection. If anything, as he describes Greenland, he's describing himself.
Yeah.
Like did Stephen Miller ever serve in Esau's military? Let's check and see
What?
if he ever served. Did he ever serve in Esau's military?
Let me see.
Let's get some. Let's see if he's able to do it.
So like I said, it says based on provided search results, Stephen Miller, the American political advisor and White House Deputy Chief of Staff, has never served in the United States military.
He has never served in the United States military. So he's never defended America and he's never been trained. He doesn't look like particularly a physically imposing person, right? So as he describes Greenland, he's describing himself. He needs what America's might is, the military and the police, to be able to defend himself. You get the point? Which is why it's so spiritual and on point how the Lord describes us. Like in the book of Exodus, in I believe it's chapter 12, the Lord said, when I brought your armies out of Israel, out of Egypt, Salakia. Like the Lord describes us as that because that's how we are as a people. Yeah. Like our men are masculine. The men that's raised, the 12 tribes of Israel is, all about being a man and a man's responsibility and shirking that duty. We have a law where you could stand down from a war for a time. But these people who have this tremendous power have never served and flexing the power as if they have.
Yeah.
Talking about it as if they have, not understanding the cost of life, the damage that happens to a soldier. They don't business about none of that. Like that's serving a man who is, not worthy of service.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they're on a full war path now. Like, don't be surprised at anything that comes out their mouth.
Yeah.
Khan, and if I could, I was on Clubhouse the other day and talking with some devils about the same Greenland thing.
Right.
And they're not listening to any reason right now. Like, anything, the things I was bringing up about how, okay, America is, the scriptures say the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee.
Right.
So that's going to be one of the main things you're going to see from these devils is they pride is going to be through the roof, but more than what they really want to get, what they really want to do or capable of doing. So they will, in their mind, yes, we're the number one military in the world, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But to actually use that military to really go and fight, they don't have that spirit to do that. Yeah. And if they do go there, they're not going to like being in there. Shalom, and so that's the spirit they have. And then when I brought it out in the room to the devils about how, look, even the experts were talking about Venezuela. Like if they were to actually go into Venezuela with boots to actually hold down the resources that they're talking about, how it could create a Vietnam-style quagmire, and those guerrilla soldiers who've been fighting for years in them jungles in Colombia and Venezuela will give America hell. Like that's the things we're talking about. What people don't understand about war, in war, you can never really quantify what a country can do. Like you can say, yeah, we got more tanks, we got more of this, we got more of that, but you can't quantify how how hard they will fight, how they'll put a bomb on themselves to blow themselves up, how far they're willing to go. You know, you can't quantify that. You can't tell that until you really get deep into it. The same when they fought the Japanese, when they sent when they start trying to take those islands back, Okinawa, and there's a couple islands. I think Iwo Jima. They're very famous islands because America was getting demolished by those Japanese on the smaller islands, which they didn't want to go fight on the main island because they seeing the losses that they were taking on the small islands. And they said, we can't go all the way into Japan like this. That's why they was like, we got to get that bomb going. They did not, because Japan was ready to, they was putting everybody on the beach. They had men, women, and children on the beach ready to go, blow everything up. You know what I mean? So they did not want to go into Japan based off of fighting those small islands. So, but these devils, they don't see it like you're saying, Captain Shock. They don't see it like that. They see it, we're the top. We could just run amok and run over and do everything, but they're going to get themselves into some shit, excuse my language, that they not prepared to handle. And when it hits the fan, when the shit hits the fan, black man, don't try to be no damn saver hoe. Don't be no Captain Saver hoe, man. Talking about, we need, because I can see it now. We need to support America. We are Americans too. No, nigga. Nah, that's all them. That's all these devils' idea for this war that's coming up.
Yeah. It's gonna spill. It's definitely gonna spill out. You know what I mean? It's for sure gonna spill out to something where it's gonna be so inevitable right now. It's gonna be so inevitable that the French prime minister, I believe, prime minister or president, I always forget which one is which, because they ascribe to different political structures. But he said it. He's like, we either, they're making it, these big powers. He talk about big powers and small powers today. And brother, that is the mark of the beast right there. He said the big powers have the market and the military, so they could survive on their own. The small powers, we can't do it because Trump threatened them with tariffs. Trump say, listen, because that's the thing. They call Macron the Trump whisperer, but they say today he said what Trump is doing is wrong, and he's not going to side with Trump with Greenland. Trump said, "Yeah, I'll just put 200% tariffs on all the wine and champagne, and he'll vote. Don't worry about it." Talking about Macron. So they recognizing that Trump is putting the mark of the beast on them. He's cutting them out of the economy. He said, I'm not going to use my military anymore. Thank God. He said, I know some of y'all is like, thank God I'm not going to use this military. Because I got the strongest military and something. So they realize what it is going on. And they now saying, okay, you can't cut us out like that because we can't survive. You're not respecting our sovereignty. That's what they're saying. And it's either we become willing competitors for favor with the big powers, which means a slave. So we'll have to compete with each other for favor from the big power, or we'll have to form a new alliance and make an impact with the smaller powers, which is war. Like you say, we'll just come together and we'll make an impact. We'll attack you whichever way. Like this thing is churning up so right. Like Trump has the right type of pride to bring in the Third World War.
Yep.
That Davos meeting they had, brother. Y'all should go and watch it if you could. You got the time. Just let it play and listen to how they're talking, brother. They are so scared, but they're trying to play like they're calm and put all these political terms. But brother, Trump is punking them in the lunchroom. Punking them at the lunchroom, and they're feeling like niggas. They don't like it. They don't like feeling like niggas. That Canadian one, he say the big powers and us the middle power. The middle power. You don't want to say he's the less power. Because they used to be in over the less power, they used to be in the colonizer and having colonies. Well, today Trump made them feel like colonies. Today Trump made them feel like they didn't have a choice. They had to give in. You're not respecting my sovereignty. Listen, ain't that what them old woke niggas like to say? I'm a traveler. I don't need an ID. Sovereignty. Trump done turned Europe into a bunch of niggas, and they don't like it. They don't like none of that shit. They can't handle it. They can't handle being black.
Yep.
It's like it, sir, too. What you just brought out is so heavy. And then to piggyback on what Captain Kapash said, and this is why the scripture says, consult not with a coward in matters of war.
Right.
Because, okay, Trump, the way he's moving is, and most of the men in his cabinet, it's like they have a fake tough guy persona. And like usually, and it was a time period in American politics where you had served in Esau's military to even be taken serious or verified. Like it was a time period where that was almost like a unspoken prerequisite.
Yeah,
where like your opinion matters because you actually seen things, you've been through things, you have the field experience to lead, to know what this does. Trump, it seems like he got rid of all the men with that experience and brought in the cowards, the draft dodgers, the fake tough guys.
Right.
And so they're moving in a way that is not wise in matters of war. Like it's a lot of, it's just somebody who never got hit in the mouth. You understand? Somebody who, that's what it's like. Somebody who never got hit in the mouth. They are usually the ones who are very reckless with their mouth, very reckless with their actions. Somebody that's been in fights is a little more astute on what they're saying, what they're doing. Yeah. And it's like, it's watching this, is like like Captain Kapash was saying, these devils want war so bad because they've never been in it. They've never seen the carnage. They've never seen the human toll. They've never really experienced what war really is and what it really does. And a lot of these devils now, these young white devils that support this, they have the same thing. I'm reading the comments on all these different posts, and they call them for a civil war. It's like these devils got the taste for blood and violence so bad, and the Lord is going to give them what they think they want. He's going to give it to them when they're going to realize, okay,
it's not what they want.
Yeah, this is not what we wanted. We bit off more than what we could chew, but now you in it, and the Lord is going to make it happen. The ICE agents, He going to send all you ICE agent tough guys to a real war. The Lord is going to send all you white men that want to harm God's people here in America when we've done nothing to you. He's going to give you the thing that you desire and yearn for so bad, and you're going to realize we are not what we thought we were. Mike Tyson said everybody has a plan until they get hit in the mouth.
Yes.
Yep.
They're going to get over there and realize, okay, they're going to be calling for us. They are literally going to call. They're going to switch. I wouldn't be surprised if they ramp up their campaign on now Black people and Hispanics. We're all Americans. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see that type of propaganda when they actually start to get in the fight, where it's like, we're all Americans. We need each other. We gotta, we gotta remember what all that garbage like they've done, like they did right after 9/11. And so just what you're saying is so true. How he moving, he's treating these nations like a bully, but he's a bully that never been checked. Yeah. And there's like my pastor always said, there's always someone bigger and badder, and they don't. So
listen, because what you say there is straight out of the Bible. Because listen, I'm gonna just read it real quick. You only have to pull it. Isaiah 47:1 said, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O virgin, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." What you described there is that, like, these is people who never really faced the war.
Right.
They're virgin daughters. They're not, they like war. They amazed by what it is, but they never had to pay the price of it.
Right.
They never had to count the cost of it, really. And that's what you need. You need that proud thing that's going to be soiled. And he is full of pride right now, and he's delivering it to them. You know what I mean? He's bringing them all the way to the brink of it, talking reckless, everything else. And listen, one more thing, like you said something there that, if you notice, the Trump administration is really kind of, they undoing what the Democrats did and then putting a new name on it and then putting it right back in. Because he wanted to do away with the Obamacare. Now he wants to come with the whole Trump insurance thing, the whole Trump plan for insurance. They do the, Obama and them deport more Latinos than any other president. He's doing the same thing. Under Obama and them, they came with the DREAM Act. Remember where you could sign up for the military and get citizenship? Don't be surprised if the pressure right now with ICE and the detention centers turn into, well, we have a way out for you. You could go fight, you take care of your family. So what you say in there, it could all be in the workings. Because they have a long-term plan. Like Trump got up in that Davos meeting today, and he said, we delivered Greenland to you, Denmark. We gave it to you respectfully. He said, and back then, we fought Germany and Japan and this one and that one, and we gave you Greenland. We could have kept it. He said, back then, we had a powerful military, and we even more powerful now. In my first term, I built up the military, $1.3 trillion. We had the biggest ships. And he started to run it down to them, the weaponry he has. This is a long game they're playing. Playing the long game. So don't be surprised if all this is just funneling everything to make us go fight, on behalf of the empire. Because he is erecting Rome, again. He is bringing back Rome right to the forefront right now in real and living color. Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, got up and talked about great and small, rich and poor, and being cut out of the economy with the tariffs. That's the mark of the beast. He got up today and talked about it. He said, we ain't going to survive. He said, we're not big enough to survive. We don't have a big enough market. And he said market first, not military. He said market. Because they know that's where the power is. Cutting you out of the economy is the mark of the beast. It was so right today. Thank the Lord for the truth, brother. Because listen, what we learned in here, brother, it was so clear as day what they was talking about today.
Yeah.
Trying to use so much big words to, like Trump taking advantage of us. But behind you pull all of that back, it's the mark of the beast. And they don't want to take it. They don't want to take it. They don't want no part of that.
If I could, sir.
Come on out.
What you're saying so heavy, right? Because the ISUPK, man, that's how we have the truth. For years, we've been telling everybody, Christians, fake Israelites, what the mark of the beast is. And for years, they've been trying to battle us, talking about the mark of the beast is a chip. And I mean, where are all those Israelites now who were saying the mark of the beast was a chip? They just quieted down. They never even apologized for that fake doctrine. They just go quiet, and then they come up with something new. You understand? They don't realize they just always loop in and bring some new doctrine that has no foundation and always falls to the side. And here we are being proven right as to what the mark of the beast is. Trump is showing you what the mark of the beast is.
Yep.
But none of them will come forward and say, you know what? We were wrong. They just bring up a new argument. And that's why the Lord's going to have to destroy them so that they can't spread lies no more. And that blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians could actually get the truth and know where the truth is instead of being, tricked by these fake Israelites in the Christian church. So like you say, that's why.
You absolutely right with that. You absolutely right with that. Give back what you stole, said Trump don't turn Europe into a bunch of Moors. You absolutely right. Them niggas talking about sovereignty, like they're a 5%. You just put a fez on the Canadian president. He sound like a Moorish American talking about you don't respect our sovereignty and this and that. It's a comedy show to watch. It's a comedy show.
Khan, if I could, I got a quick scripture.
Please,
Obadiah 1:8. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and the understanding out of the mount of Esau? And it says, and thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed. This is talking about these oppressors, these Germans and all that, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. See, this is talking about, Obadiah is talking about the fall of Esau. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. What they don't know is, in which they acting like, they so dumb, it's nuclear bombs in the mix now. It's atomic weapons in the mix now. You think you gonna fight wars and some nukes ain't gonna start dropping?
Yep.
I remember when we said it on the streets. Yeah, it's gonna be thermonuclear war. Everybody said, "Yeah, you crazy." Everybody know we're not gonna go to have real wars because we don't want to have nuclear bombs getting dropped. Ain't nobody foolish enough to start wars nowadays.
Right.
Only one's gonna get wars. We're gonna be in the desert fighting Iraqis with sandals. We'll be fighting some Philippines or something. And some type of Vietnam repeat. But now you got the major powers arming up. Germany just put in an order for tons of them Leopard tanks that they were selling. Now they say we ain't selling them, we building them for ourselves. Because they're getting ready to have that if Russia were to turn to their way in Poland. So once Germany gets going, I don't know. Yeah, y'all gotta look at the history of Germany. Germany was responsible for 1 and 2. It looked like a German about to be responsible for 3 too. That's it. Teaming. You look. I think. Yeah. I think Teaming is the Germans of Esau. You know what I mean? So Trump being a German, but the Germans revitalizing their army. That's a problem because those German people. You could listen to their speech. They're not a peaceful people at all. They're not a peaceful people. They don't want peace. You know what I mean? They were forced into peace. But as soon as they get the opportunity, they will get back in the mix. And it's gonna be a problem because Russia and Germany they've been fighting for thousands of years. I say hundreds of years. They've been fighting each other. So it's what the scripture said. The Lord, it said in Ezekiel, the Lord would put hooks in their mouth and turn thee back.
Right.
So Russia is going to be Russia, Iran, and Africa. The African nations, Ethiopia and North Africa. Those are going to be the main war against America and its allies. So.
It's something to watch right now. It's setting up real good, and it's something for sure to keep your eyes on. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Cap.
Con. Just go off what Captain Kaposh was saying about the weaponry.
Right.
They got according to Tech Radar, they printed out a 3D. You heard about the ghost guns. They probably to print the guns, but they just printed a 3D drone, and the drone reached 408 miles per hour.
Damn.
So they got weapons out here that they're gonna get to the apex, which is the nuclear. But they got weapons out here, man, that they can take out a city block, man. You know what I'm saying? In a book bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, the stuff they got out here, and like the general always said, man never created a weapon that he didn't use.
Right.
So as we get closer to the end, the final hour of this empire, you're going to see these people, you thought that mankind was civilized. You don't understand what kind of beast that we living under. You understand? Like the Bible tell us these people are, beasts of the field. And it's the irony is how he compares man to animal. And the only thing that separates that is the law. That separates us from the jungle. So, you know what I'm saying? So we got the law. You know what I'm saying? So seeing all these things going on and what's happening with ICE, the Lord is bringing it to a head now. And shout out to El Paso, Texas. Article came across my desk tonight. One of the ICE, one of the immigrants that was detained, a brother from the tribe of Manasseh, he had lost his life, and the medical examiner out there in El Paso just ruled it a homicide.
Yep.
They just ruled it a homicide.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yes, sir. I don't want to come. They just ruled it. So now and they showing neck and compression, neck and chest compression, and you know what I'm saying, pressure on his neck and all this. It's going there. You know what I'm saying? It's modern day concentration camps that everybody, and it's only gonna split the Twin Cities more. Because right now, you get in the flight. They don't even want the pilots to stay downtown now. You flying into that city. They want the pilots got to stay in another area because it's getting that crazy.
That's crazy. And you know, I think it was last week or this week. Govino, what's his name again? The one who in charge of ICE.
Greg Bovino.
Greg Bovino. You know, they came out and said, I think it was 3 deaths at this particular ICE facility. I think it's in Montana, something of Montana, east of Montana, or something is called. The facility is privately owned. So you know what's going on up there. They say they had 3 deaths, I think, this year so far. And in the facility, and he came out and defended them, saying, ain't nobody doing anything wrong. They get the best. It's long been Homeland Security's practice that a detainee gets the best medical care. And the 3 people that died, they said 1 person had underlying conditions and 2 of them did it to themselves. So for this to come out right after that, I mean, I think as they try to move on the chessboard, the Lord is moving.
Exactly.
And it's stoking the fire up for them. And it's their own people turning against them. God damn, he ruled that and he come up with the details. Chest compression and neck compression. Yikes.
They broke it down. They did their due diligence, whoever that medical examiner was, and they fulfilled their oath. You know what I'm saying? As far as being honest about what in their craft and what really happened, and they done their due diligence. And I'm sure they probably didn't want the report. He probably had to sneak the report out of the facility. He probably lied and told them that everything was okay, and then got out and then broke it to the press. So, this right here is this is showing us where we are in this empire, and it's only going to erode even more. It's only going to erode even more. But just like you said, Captain Mashak, as he moves a piece, the Lord is moving a piece as well. You know what I'm saying? And his palms are made of ice. So the heat is being turned up more and more and more. And a lot of those people that got in, they don't know what they signed up for. But I can guarantee you, like you said, if these the more global tension happen, they're gonna say that, you know what, you ain't just signed up for this, you signed up for something else. You signed up for to go over there and do that. We don't need you here, we need you out the States. You know what I'm saying? So it's going there. So I yield.
No, you so well, Doc. Like as you say that he sneaked that thing out, it's because of all that pressure that coming down. I think even today, I believe they asked Trump about was it today or yesterday? Yesterday, I believe. I think Trump did he was at in the press room. There was a press conference that they say usually the speaker, whatever is her name, I forget her name.
Arian
Levin. She usually addresses them, and she said just like about an hour before, she tweeted there'll be a special guest today, and they say it's very much unlike Trump to appear at one of the press conferences, and he did it. He did a 90-minute speech yesterday before he left for Davos, and they was talking about the broad who died, Renee Good, and he said, it came to my attention that her father was a Trump supporter. He said, I don't know if he still is, but her father loved Trump. I hope he still supports Trump. And he said, what can I say? We have our professionals out there, but sometimes they make mistakes. Sometimes they may be a little bit too rough. It's bad people. So how could you backtrack on that in less than 2 weeks? First, you said she was a terrorist. Remember, he was saying that? He was saying she was a terrorist. Now you're saying sometimes we make mistakes. The pressure is rising a little bit. It's like whoever she is, that Renee Good one, she might be a little bit more connected than we know. She might be really somebody a little bit more connected, or the LGBTQ, or she's somebody, some big person relative, and they just don't really claim her because she's LGBTQ. But now because she's dead,
right?
Maybe they're doing it. But for him to say mistake after Vance said absolute immunity.
Right. Salaki.
Come on, Cap.
Now what you're saying is so right. The Republican Party and the alt-right, they gotta chase Trump's narrative. They gotta chase it around because he never stayed like he really making them look stupid at this point. Now so now you're humanizing a domestic terrorist? based on what you said. When you found out she was a Karen that cared. Now you want to say this now because
when she was what, Cap?
A Karen that cared. Salakia.
She was a care bear.
You're right. You're right. Come on, Cap. You know what I'm saying? Like now, like, but see, here's the crazy part about it. Now, and let me tell you, the alt-right are hating the liberal women so much, they got a term it's called awful, that they use to label white liberal or white democratic women now. I just found this out recently. So now, you know, like he's trying to go backtrack and say, okay, she's a Trump, her father's a Trump supporter. Well, evidently she wasn't. But I guess, you know, you're trying to find a way in the white, you know what I'm saying, that white atmosphere to try to have a common ground. It's too late for that now. America's skating on thin ice. It's too late for that now. You know what I'm saying? People done lost the eye in the protests, got tear gas shot at them, you know, baby almost died, and you know, you blowing up cars. They taking engines out of the ICE cars right now in Minneapolis. They finding out where they at, sitting a mechanic down there, jacking the cars and taking the engines out. Like this right here.
You serious?
Huh? I'm serious. It's reports they taking engines out of the vehicles. When they park them vehicles overnight, somebody's getting to and the thing about it is them ICE vehicles got to get serviced. So whoever they taking it to, somebody giving them a drop. They know where to drop, where they staying at. All this stuff, man. This thing is getting crazy out here, man. You understand? So like you said, Captain Shock, the pressure, or shall I say the heat, is on now.
Yeah.
Okay. We did a speaking out there at camp this weekend, and you can feel the tension out here, especially down here in the South, because just having a picture of her face, like, okay, you don't like her. Oh, I thought she had white privilege. Thought she was okay with that. What's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to deal with they got to look in the mirror now. America has to look at America now. Let's take, and we only stating the facts. Let's take the Latinos out of it. Let's take black people out of it. And just look at this right here. This is a white ICE agent killing a white woman, unaliving a white woman. And you got to deal with that. Now, you can try to spin it whatever way you want, but ain't no getting around this. The Lord, he's poetic. He's poetic with this, man. So, Salak, I yield.
No, I think you absolutely right with that. Like her face represents what's wrong with America. Like, that's really the mirror right there. You put her face up anywhere, they probably ain't gonna be able to look at her. They're gonna feel like they failed her.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Let's get a couple of them stories. I know Arawadia worked hard on them stories, give him my hand, man. You know what I mean? He worked hard on them stories every week. Let's get a few of them off the break, whichever one you all want to start with, because they're all right on topic with Trump. You know what I mean? We could start anyone good.
Come.
Let's go to number 7. We start right there. Or number 7. I definitely want to get 17 after.
Khan.
Please.
Denmark sends more troops to Greenland amid tensions with Trump. Nordic country dispatches substantial contribution of troops to the Arctic territory amid standoff with Washington. Denmark has sent additional troops to Greenland amid United States President Donald Trump's threats to take control of the self-governing Danish territory. The chief of the Royal Danish Army, Peter Boysen, and a substantial contribution of soldiers landed in Kangerlussuaq in western Greenland on Monday evening. Public broadcaster DR and other Danish media reported. Public broadcaster TV2 reported that 58 Danish troops landed in the Arctic territory, joining about 60 others dispatched earlier to participate in ongoing multinational military exercises, dubbed Operation Arctic Endurance. Denmark's Ministry of Defense and the Danish Armed Forces did not immediately respond to requests for comment. The deployment came hours after Trump declined to rule out using military force to take control of the vast mineral-rich Arctic territory, which the U.S. president claims is vital to Washington's security. In an interview with NBC News on Monday, Trump replied, "No comment," in response to a question about whether he could seize the island by force. Trump's remarks came after he told Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre in a text message over the weekend that he no longer felt obliged to think purely of peace after not being awarded this year's Nobel Peace Prize.
This is a goddamn joke.
Yeah, this
Yeah. Yeah, this man is a real child for real.
So you got to get a prize in order to have the peace.
Come on,
Like this, I mean, man, you dealing with, I mean, boy, who would have thought? You know what I'm saying? Coming off the cusp of Martin Luther King Day. I mean, this right here, man, this just goes to show you, if you don't appease this man, wait, I mean, he don't care about the welfare of the people,
right?
Nation. He don't care about that. He cares about his own self-gratification. And that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Right? That's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Cap.
I cut this out to what you're saying too. What type of father you think Donald Trump had?
Right.
You understand? Like, you know what I mean? His father teach him no type of values, but you know what I mean, the type of greed. You understand? And the same thing he passing down to his son. You clearly see that last shot was in
Barron, come on.
He is, you know what I mean? Like them, his sons is gonna be worse than him, man.
Right.
You think you know what I mean, you laughing at them. You could spend a night in a dungeon. You understand? you laugh at his son. You might, you know what I mean, you all the cryptocurrency might go in, you know what I mean, like that. You understand the way they're moving. You understand? And I went and looked up, right? So NATO, right, or these countries that's under NATO, they having some drill. Now, I went and looked up where majority of the weapons coming from. Where do you think it coming from? 64% of it coming from America. You think Europe could fight America with what? You understand? America said they hit the kill switch, and we're gonna fight with now. You understand? Germany threatening to boycott the World Cup. You know what I mean? And some of you may not know what the World Cup is, but it's one of the biggest, you know what I mean, events that's going to take place this year, I think around summer time. The majority of the countries, you know what I mean, going to come and, you know what I mean, go against each other for that World Cup. And Germany wants to boycott it. France done tucked the tail already and said they don't think they're going to do it. You understand? So, you know what I mean? What Donald Trump just did was show the hypocrisy of you white people.
Yeah.
You're like hypocrites. You understand? You backed Israel for going and stealing the Palestinian land. You back them. You know what I mean? You say Israel has the right to defend himself. Well, I think America has the right to Greenland too, right? Back him too.
That's right.
You're crying that the Russian Putin done trying to steal Ukraine. You backed America in it. You went in the UN and put your name and your reputation, your country on it.
That's right.
Well, back America now for Greenland. Give them Greenland.
That's right, Cap.
We're crying about. You know what I mean? Unless you white people are hypocrites.
That's
And not
right.
just you white people in America. You white people around the whole entire earth are hypocrites.
That's right.
You only cry when it affecting you.
Right.
But when you're gaining on others' downfall, or you all in it.
That's right.
You're all in it. But now when the fit and the take, something away from you, now you're crying.
Yep.
How could you do that? Don't
Yep.
cry now, man.
That's right.
If you had to cry, get them tissues. You know what I mean? Walmart, you get it from Costco. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Get it, cry, but
Right.
give it up.
Greenland Shaman. That's right,
If I could, sir.
Go ahead.
If I could, I for one support Trump in what he said. You know, he said, if you want peace, go get peace from the person you get the prize to. You can't rob me of the peace and you can't rob me of the prize and then ask me for peace. You gotta go to that broad you gave the prize to. She gotta get the peace. Since you think she has so much power.
Right.
If you knew who had the power, you'd give him the prize, and he'd honored the prize by giving you peace. So I respect what he said. Like since y'all want to give me the Nobel Peace Prize, I'm gonna be the god of war now.
Now, like I think I had to keep an eye on South Park series act because they surely got to put Cartman in the White House act, and because he operating just like Erica.
Yeah,
he operating. 100%, brother, like him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Is absolutely crazy. Something you was just saying there too, Cap, and I wanted to chime in on it. It doesn't slip my mind, but it was about how they can't fight back. I think one of the articles here is that UK is they're trying to plan for something, but it ain't gonna work. I think that one is 17, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also to this, to add to what you were saying too, there was them small hats they be having in little conventions, right? But somehow apparently they don't know, they forget the cameras rolling,
right?
So that the woman who gave Trump the money to run for the presidency, what's her name? Adelson Miriam.
Is one of the big donors.
Yeah, one of the big donors. Brother, the host asks her, real, bigger up, and was like, could you tell us how you got these, these politicians on the side?
Right.
This white woman was like, I'd rather not say it. I don't want to, I don't want to say it. Can we move on? Next question.
Dang.
She didn't want to give up, the source.
But that's to show you what's happening. Like people think it's Donald Trump making the decisions. He is not. He's not making the decision.
Makes sense.
The woman, that woman, or she have a stake in what's taking place. She have a stake. And if she tell Trump, jump 2 inches off the ground with them ankles, he better jump. And he gonna jump. You understand? And it's not her alone. She's just the one that put as the face. But they always talking about this deep state. Up to now, we don't even know the faces behind the deep state.
That's right.
We just know about one woman. The Bible says how about 666
right.
approximately amount of devils running this place.
Mm-hmm.
We just know one.
Right. So, like, if I could, Cap, what you saying about that deep state, man? That deep state is deep. It is deep. It's so much. It go into the bottomless pit.
Yeah.
It's so deep, man. Like all the secrets. You imagine, like I said, them files and all that, man, coming out, man. It would. Like he's going to send this place to nuclear war to keep all that from coming out, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And in them other countries, I believe Russia got it. I believe Russia, because how he's moving, that's exactly what Russia would want. Russia want to dismantle NATO. You know what I'm saying? So who knows, where this thing go, man. You know what I'm saying? How far it's gonna go. But I tell you what, the closer we get to the end, like you said, those people gonna be unmasked. They hiding right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They in the shadows. But the more the Lord shed light on this thing, man, people are starting to say, okay, we're starting to put this thing together, man. You understand? We're starting to put this thing together, and they seeing the UPK being right all along.
That's it. Yeah.
The preachers won't even go into the book of Revelation right now. They're too busy worried about Drewski. They don't want to talk about. They ain't even like we be like, well, hold on, let's break down. No, I don't want to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? We got to pray about that. No, let's talk now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Every time these preachers out here want to have a talk with the UPK, and we really push them to task, they say, you know, this ain't the right time. When is it gonna be the right time?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You said you believed in Martin Luther King Jr. You believed in his dream. Let's talk about it, man.
Mm-hmm.
And we just won't deal with the facts that our leaders they chose representation over real freedom. They still can't cope with that. But we seeing the results of it right now in America. Like these people, they playing for global dominance.
Yeah.
They're playing for all the cards. And a lot of these countries are going to miscalculate, and their people are going to suffer greatly for it.
Yeah.
You understand? They playing for all the marbles now. You understand? They playing for all the marbles. They ain't just talking about mineral resources. They fighting for outer space as well. You understand? They want to map space out. They want to fight here and then fight out there in space.
Yeah.
Like these people here, you know, they are diabolical.
Yeah.
I
Go ahead, please.
No, I just because I told Khan was saying too, like go. You know what I mean? If you hear the news on what's coming out to Iran too, on how on the things they was doing in their brother, that they, you know, the way they try to bring that country down with themselves they had in there.
Right.
You know what I mean? You'll be, you know what I mean? Like right now, he is, you know what I mean? You could tell he's a corner dog, and you know what I mean, or you know what I mean, the empire is falling, and then you know what I mean, it's almost like they didn't expect it to fall as fast as it's falling. So now you're seeing, you know what I mean, where you know what I mean, it's almost like they have to unmask, you know what I mean, and say, you know what I mean, accept the fact that we the beast. You know what I mean? And we're gonna play that role. We the beast. And we, you know what I mean, and you better give it up or we gonna take it. Like what you gonna do now? You sat back and watch the Palestinian people get gobbled up. You sat back and watch Putin and Ukraine go at it.
Yeah.
And now you're worried?
Right.
Nah, you shouldn't be worried. You shouldn't be worried. You should go all in.
So it's a lot.
All in.
If I could, and you know what's so heavy about what you're saying? All these other countries and all these other nations, and even in America, they got America to this point.
Yeah.
Like they acting like they're like, I can't. This is not America. Yes, it is. This is America. You acting like this is some abstract. You supported slavery. You supported Jim Crow. All of that. You fed this beast all those years.
Yeah.
You fed this beast the blood of the Israelites.
That's right.
And the blood of all these other heathens out here too. These little mini wars and skirmishes. You fed this beast. And now that it's fully grown and fully powerful, now you say, well, I can't believe it's doing that. You created this. No different than the story of Frankenstein. You created this. And now you're shocked at your creation. We're at the apex of what you created.
Yeah.
And then now all it needed was a person, a vehicle like Donald Trump to really show you his teeth all the way. Now he can weaponize tariffs, aka the mark of the beast, his weaponry, which is the dragon. All these things. He weaponized every damn thing. He weaponized the Justice Department. Hold on. Now you got to feel this for a moment. A criminal, a criminal now, convicted felon, weaponizing the Justice Department. This happened before. You understand what's wrong? But this is where we at now, brothers and sisters, man. Salak, I yield.
Yeah. And I went and look up Cap too. You know what I mean, as I bring up that where I tried to look at the correlation between the slave patrol and the ICE agents. And lo and behold, you understand? Google tried to say there's no similarities, but when you read the two go hand in hand. You know what I mean? Listen, if you don't mind, man, I could read a little bit of it. Right, so say arguments suggesting a correlation between historical slave patrol and modern U.S. immigration and customs enforcement ICE agents are primarily made by historians, activists, and some political figures. Right? While there is no direct, uninterrupted institutional line between the 18th century patrols and the 21st century federal agency, critics argue that the logic of racial control and surveillance has persisted, right? They say arguments linking the two generally focuses on the following parallels: functions of control and capture. Then they say targeting racialized communities.
Right.
Right? Both institutions are accused of operating with a or for a racial agenda, focusing on non-white individuals under the guise of legal order. Methods of intimidation. Both systems are characterized by the use of surprise raid and disruption of homes and families, and the use of fear to enforce obedience. A violation of rights. Critics contend that both Slave Patrol and ICE have operated with minimal regard for constitutional protection, such as acting without warrants to achieve their goal. Use of surveillance. Both systems rely on surveillance to track the movement of the population they target, regulating their presence in public and private spaces. You know what I mean? And now, you know what I mean, with things like this, Cap, you know what I mean? Now, you know what I mean, you basically, you know what I mean, gonna have to ask, you could ask a black person, you know what I mean, are you a slave? Are we still slaves? And if that person says, no, we are not a slave, okay, well, if the white man chooses tomorrow to put us back in slavery, what can you do to stop him?
Right.
What you could do to stop the white man?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna say you're gonna fight. Or you're gonna fight.
Yeah.
No problem. Fight with what? I hear you.
Yeah.
You understand? Like black people, you know what I mean? Like we gonna have to wake up and recognize that we're still in slavery. And the name just changed from Slave Patrol to ICE.
That's right.
And that is it.
That's right, Cap.
You know what I mean?
So,
You know what I mean?
Could I say one thing? And what you saying is so right, because man, going just talking about the past, man, the history is not so far removed as we think. If you really look at it, 5 seconds ago it was history,
right?
But it's 5 seconds. You can still, you get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
how they talk about history and all this. I was talking to my grandmother today from Mississippi, man. And it's stories that you really don't really get until they get closer towards the end, of their life because of the trauma. But brother, I tell you, the stories that she tell me is like it's like it happened to her yesterday.
Right.
Because of the evil of this place, man. And these people get mad with us and forget about the past. You mean my grandmother?
Right.
Because she's still alive.
Right. She's present.
She's present. You understand? She knows about sharecropping. She knows about all those things. She's seen how you ration out sugar for 1 month. Saying it wasn't enough sugar, but you go to clean a white person's house and they got all the goddamn sugar when you need to bake them a cake. The hell are you talking about? Leave the past. The past is still alive. Because you are still in power.
That's right.
You do the same thing you did then. You're doing it now. So like I yield.
Hey, Cap, I don't know if you want to touch on the number 24.
Let me just touch on 17 real first. And real
okay.
Quick.
I got 17 right here, sir.
Yeah, and then we do it because 17, boy, just letting you know that they like these European leaders, they're not the safety that they thought they had in being in an alliance, like it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
In UK, veterans age 65 told to prepare for war. A new bill.
65 years old. 65 years old. You a vet. You're probably looking at, trying to stand down and retire and all this extra shit. They tell you, listen, go prepare for war because, there's no retiring. You just got to die out there. 65. That is crazy.
Con, if I could, I've seen multiple documentaries talking about they're having troubles filling the ranks in the United Kingdom or Britain. They're not getting enough recruits, nowhere near enough recruits. They're basically running by a skeleton crew.
Oh, you remember when the whole thing just started with Russia? They were saying they have planes, but nobody to fly the planes. And they had put out a whole sign-on package, almost like what America does to draft the tribe of Judah. They had a whole sign-on package trying to draft Benjamin in that. They had a whole sign-on. They're definitely hurting. But goddamn, you hurting this bad? 75 years old? You send somebody to die.
That's the problem Ukraine having right now too. They say that they had to go wrong trying to snatch men off the streets to go fight in the war. You know what I mean? Like what they don't understand too, and America failed to realize, it's not too long ago, as Captain Khan saying, they had their own people who did not want to fight for them.
Right.
Because they wasn't getting money and they had to go get us. And we helped them fend off the British. And if Judah didn't do it, today English would have, England would have still been running America.
Right.
You understand? Like they're gonna have to come get us again. And I pray, brothers and sisters, do not join. Suffer. Better we suffer here with each other.
That's right.
Than to go suffer and fight for a man that don't love you.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Let them go fight the wars, man. You know what I mean? The big and bad. You understand? They like intimidating women. You ICE agent. You want to fight? Go join the military. It's gonna have plenty of openings just now.
Right. Any more Kazak Sadaki.
Kawaka.
Alawapaya. Barak.
Yeah, how about
Hey, yo, with some what Aki?
We was just on this story where UK trying to bring 65-year-old soldiers out of retirement to fight, sir.
Damn. The fight where? Where? The supermarket? Where they want them to fight at?
I mean, Trump have everybody acting irregular.
Yeah.
Trump have everybody acting so irregular right now, sir.
Come. They're expecting a big fight.
Yeah.
If you bring the retirees up, you definitely expecting a big fight. Salaka.
Come. Is that anymore?
Kawaka. Under a portion of the Armed Forces Bill, the British government could expand the age at which strategic reserve personnel, the country's pool of retired soldiers, could be called back to active duty from 55 to 65. If approved, the change would mobilize more than 10,000 veterans to prepare for war. Military recruitment numbers in the UK have declined in recent years, scaling down to their smallest amount in more than 2 centuries, according to the Telegraph. Britain's force of fully trained active duty troops has dwindled down to just over 70,000 members per current regulations. Soldiers in the Strategic Reserve Pool can be summoned for duty if the government feels national danger, great emergency, or attack in the UK is imminent. But the new guidelines could lower the mandate to warlike preparations, which is currently the rule for reservists having recently left the British military. Threat of war on the horizon. What's the catalyst for the proposed rule changes? British officials harbor growing concerns that the UK could be pulled into a war with Russia in the coming years. UK defense and secretary chiefs have been warning residents of the possibility of a large-scale conflict for the past few months.
We're talking about fighting Russia.
Yeah. You heard that they try to unalive Putin.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, with them drones. And
was that when they bombed his house?
Yes. And Trump act like he didn't know. You know what I mean? He had nothing to do with it. He didn't know about it. But what it says, Putin and men and them got the chip and sent it to them and said, yo, everything on this chip right here, let us know what you were planning. And then and Putin basically tell Europe, especially England, and I think Germany, they're gonna be targeted if they continue with that. You know what I mean? With nuclear weapons. He say you know what I mean? Like they're not playing with UK and Germany. They say they're gonna nuke them.
Dang.
Yeah.
And you know, we at a time now where everybody's being drawn into this war.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And they said even Iran threatened to kill Donald Trump. So the Iranians threatened to kill him. Now, here's the messed up part. This is why you can't just be threatening people. Because somebody could commit a false flag. And knock somebody's president, knock their own president off.
Yeah.
Then what? All it takes is one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just
you knock one of them off, that's it.
Come.
Them rockets just flying. You know what I'm saying? Like this now, this is a very, very, very dangerous neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? It's a very, very dangerous neighborhood. So they all swarming around and, you know, posturing.
Right.
But that posturing, they may not be serious about actually going into action with that posturing, but the Lord could be. The Lord could go ahead and push them right on over the edge. And now you have a complete and utter mess in this kingdom.
Yeah.
You got a complete and utter mess inside here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Come.
So you're right, like they right for calling them up at 65 years of age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, they plan to get Greenland. They may plan, they definitely going into Mexico. But he got a lot of ambitious plans on a lot of fronts.
Yeah.
And there's some serious desperation.
Yeah.
America is definitely worried about being able to, you know, keep that dollar up and alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you value that dollar, it's going to be a problem. You know what I mean? Like this winter storm is a good rehearsal for the future for our people.
Right.
It's a good rehearsal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this will remind you of what you should have and be pursuing as opposed to what you've been pursuing.
Right.
You've been pursuing every vain little item in this kingdom. You ain't gonna be pursuing it with 12 inches of snow on the ground and 0 degree ice underneath that.
Yeah.
Things start shutting all the way down Lord allow it don't get that bad on the 12 tribes, but it's it's here.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they do a lot of weather modification as well. And so do other countries. So who knows if this is just here or if this is brought from somewhere else.
Right.
Either way, it don't matter. It's hell to pay when it hits the streets. You know what I mean? And this part of the country is definitely gonna be under some deep pressure. I yield, you know what I'm saying? And let me add something else too, if I could. Looking for the third world war is what we should be looking for.
That's right.
Give me that scripture of the Watchman. Somebody put that for me. The Lord said you had to be a watchman, and as a watchman, you want to always be watching this stuff, man. Like, what are they doing? Or attempting to do towards us as we work very hard to wake up the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel.
Come on, sir. Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, sir.
Please continue.
Come on, sir. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity.
That's it. No, I'm just gonna cutting on you for a second. When we send that warning out, we've been warning this for years, right or wrong. We've been warning that it's going here for years, and as we set this warning that this is going this way for years, we clean the blood off of ourselves. But it doesn't mean the punishment is not coming for those the Lord deem worthy to receive that punishment.
Right.
Go ahead.
But his blood will I require at thine hand.
Right, for not putting this out. That's why people don't understand. We compelled to do this job.
That's right.
We called to do this work, and that's it. That's what we called to do. And to teach this truth and to spread this gospel of Yahushua return. And we did just that, and here we go. Where that blood is not on us, but it's still going to be on those, especially those that decide to resist what it is that we are saying to them. Now is not the time to be resisting us and to be upholding that Christian church.
Right.
And that Christian church made a minstrel show of itself this weekend with this past weekend with this Martin Luther King thing. Like they really showed out that we have a portion of us as a people that are diabolically opposed to the ways of the Most High.
Right.
You know what I mean? That sodomite that poured that syrup all over the Bible. You know what I mean? And not just him, somebody else, one of the brothers I'm not sure who, but somebody put out a tape with just more than him. With a few of those Christian preachers making sexual innuendos towards while supposedly teaching the scriptures.
Right.
But homosexuals are a nasty, nasty bunch, man. You know, man. And so that punishment is still gonna come around, even though the watchmen get up out of it. They get the blood off their hand because they know they have to. And how could you not? When you get this knowledge in you, tell me if I'm wrong, Akia, but you get this knowledge in you, you feel compelled to get out and teach somebody this.
Yeah.
Like this is the most aha moment you ever gonna have, and you be like, yo, somebody need to know about this shit.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So but I yield. Salaka.
And if I could, what you said was so heavy out of Juan Alawap is that the homosexuals have basically taken over the Christian church. They've taken it over. One of the bigger ones I think his name Mike Todd, which is I think a lot of some of his antics was on the Drewski skit that came out like a week and a half ago. That comedian who did a skit on the pastors and he was hanging from the ceiling and all of that.
Yeah.
Mike Todd, he's a pretty big pastor.
Yeah, he's the one that poured that
he's
syrup.
a homosexual. You can see it coming out. Yeah. You can see it coming out of him in many ways, and even he said on the breakfast, he was saying in some interview that because people were commenting on it that he doing different feminine things, being effeminate, which the scriptures say effeminate shall not inherit the kingdom, and his men have grown up with women and sisters and aunties, so all their mannerisms are womanly, feminine ways.
Yep.
And so, and he's fully accepted. He's fully accepted into the Christian community. And so, as you know, the big ones, it's a case for the smaller ones. The smaller churches, it's a microcosm.
Yep.
So the homosexual community has been fully accepted into the Christian church, fully, especially the newer generation.
Yeah. Like he fully desecrates the word of the Most High. And a good copulation of these will definitely give you the picture that all of these homosexuals, their whole job is to do the absolute opposite of what they're supposed to be doing, which is teaching the word of the words, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Instead, they go about working hard on desecrating everything that the Lord did.
Right.
I mean, they work hard on it, and that's exactly what this sodomite here did. And I pray, black women, you better choose right. You better choose right. Because you walking down the road of choosing wrong as judgment starts to come down in this earth. When judgment come down in this earth, it's going to be a horrific day. And for all the sisters that choose right in this work of the Lord, boy, you're going to be blessed by the Most High. You're going to be blessed by the Most High. You're going to have honor unmatched because you decided to walk with the Most High. The things that you're going to do in nobility for the truth are going to be incredible. And the things that they are going to suffer is going to be something. I went into Dunkin' Donuts today, me and Haas, and we sat down in the Dunkin' Donuts drinking our coffee. And I was shocked to see how many young women had come across. There was a shelter. There's a shelter across the street from this particular Dunkin' Donuts. And morning time, they let all the people out of the shelter. And so if you go to this Dunkin' Donut early, like, 8 o'clock or something like that in the morning, the Dunkin' Donuts is packed with people. You can barely get a table. And there's people standing around and all of that. And as you go in there, people are standing around, people are walking around outside, people talking to themselves. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of stuff from people that were in the shelter. And so many young sisters were in that Dunkin' Donuts, just halfway out of their mind. I'm talking young, I'm talking 30-ish years of age. You know what I'm saying? And just broke it. Asking, can you buy them, a cup of coffee or something like that, and sitting around, not even talking to each other, just basically filling up the Dunkin' Donuts to stay out the cold.
Right.
You know what I mean? And filled with demons, because obviously somewhere this thing went off the rails in the life they was living. And now that the time is coming closer to the end, now is not the time to be caught up in them churches. And I know a lot of them women come out of them churches and come out of being molested and come out of horrible situations in them churches, and they're gonna be dealt with, man. You know what I mean? A lot of them been mishandled horribly by black women who just have no morals. And now I really too understand. Can I just add one more thing and I get up off it?
Yes,
after seeing that video that guy made pouring that syrup, we played it, right? Okay,
back up, sir.
Okay, like after seeing him pour the syrup all over and on the Bible, now I mean I see clearly now that even though their speech always sounded crazy, really their speech was against the scriptures.
Yeah.
Like they full out antichrist in them churches, and that whole speech is either about getting money or about just desecrating the scriptures. And so these black women go home with no conscience about fearing the Lord, and instead have a full conscience about fulfilling their lust and desires. And it's a bad precedent, man. The damage that they're doing to us as a people is almost immeasurable. It is almost immeasurable. And these homosexuals think they're gonna perform in front of these women and remain in power. After a while, the death that's gonna come is gonna be horrific. So like I yield.
And just to add to what you're saying too, all I see, is the work, brothers doing here, feeding people, and this do wasting food, and nobody getting up and telling them, yo, you're wasting food. That poor people in the community that could deal with, food, you wasting it. He took a whole plate of food and let's toss it on the floor.
Yes, he did.
It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And people look at that. You know what I mean? And then to add to, I don't know if you heard too, sir. I think it's the evangelist or one of Donald Trump preachers, right? Are charged with child sex abuse. Robert Morris. You understand? Because then you're seeing, in the Christian church, you're not learning to serve the Lord. You're learning to serve your lust. You understand? And if you can hide it until the Lord ready to bring it to light. I know you're asking for forgiveness. You know what I mean? Too late. You know what I mean? You.
If I could, sir. Slack, sir, if I could. And
please go ahead.
In the scriptures, I think about the scripture where the Lord says, I'm going to make a man more valuable than fine gold.
That's right.
This is not the type of man that the Lord's talking about. There's a brother who does not fit well in this world. And he is looked at as toxic and has toxic masculinity. And he's not a person who could ever wear a suit like that. Women can't stand him. That's the brother who the Lord's gonna make more precious than fine gold when the troubles of America comes. Yeah, man. This brother right here is gonna be completely useless when he can't defend himself or a sister. I mean, because he's so feminine, he's gonna need to be protected. I mean, so when that scripture says, "I will make a man more precious than fine gold," people think it's any type of man. Nah, the type of man that's gonna be more precious than fine gold is them brothers you see wearing them Hebrew Academy jackets. I mean, brothers who've been expecting the day that's coming, they've been expecting that day for a long time under you, sir. I mean, and they're gonna be ready for it because we're looking for it. We're literally looking for that day. I mean, versus a man like this who is just entertainment for sisters. I mean, to them, they every Sunday they go to see their gay best friend at church.
Yeah,
that's him. I mean, he's gonna be as useless as could be on that day. But brothers who, I always tell brothers, don't feel like you hear all these terms today. High value man, if you don't do this, if you don't make this much money, the Lord is not impressed with none of that. And he's going to show you. That's why he said he's going to make him more precious than fine gold. Because he's going to show everybody who's valuable and who's not in that day. Salaki.
So like, can I say one thing?
If I could, Carl, I just want to ask something. General, if you could, I don't know. This is the first time I'm seeing the video. What was the point he was making at this with this thing with the
That's the amazing part. He didn't make any point.
Wow.
He just did it and desecrated everything. And what was amazing is that he eventually came back to them and said, "What? Why y'all act like y'all care about this for?" When he got to the Bible part, I don't know what this was. It appears as though it was something set up, like some kind of setup where they had a cake,
right?
And they had something going on, and he just turned around and did something different. Like they had a cake and syrup. I don't know if it was a pancake or a regular cake. They had syrup. They had everything for this meal that they had set up there. I don't know if it was set up there for him or what. You can't tell from the skit because he just goes into it.
Yeah.
And for the most part of the video, he's not even talking about what it is that's going on. Like, this is so demonic, this shit right here.
Yeah.
That he starts throwing stuff around and prancing around like a fag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like what? Like a real disgusting fag. Like a lot of cats like this, like you said, or like y'all said earlier, you grow up with a grandmother or mother that is a rotten ass piece of shit, and you just eventually take on her mindset.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced at this point that these churches are just to desecrate the truth. Like their job is to root the truth out of you, to root the spirit of Jesus Christ out of you, and make that spirit of Christ your own spirit.
Right.
Make your own vanity be the measurement of Christ, not what's in the book.
Right.
That's right.
And so that's what he was saying, but he didn't make any reference. Listen to where the congregation started saying, "Ooh, oh no," you know what I'm saying? And that's when he said, "Stop acting like y'all care about this." Like, he had gone so far that even the people listening were uncomfortable with him.
Wow.
What he was doing. And he just dismissed it like, please. You know what I mean?
That's wild. That one more thing, Con, just before you get in, General, if I could, like, it seems like with these preachers, it's like the minstrel show gets more and more outrageous as time goes on, and it's like damn near they're testing the audience, because if he say y'all didn't care about this, it's like damn near like, who gonna stop me? It's like a demon is up there and doing all of this and saying, well, y'all don't really care, because if y'all really cared, y'all wouldn't let me do all of this here. Like, he's
right.
violating everybody in the church, sir.
Listen, you're right. And not only are you right, but it's mind control. Like, what he's doing in front of them is mind control. Is saying, F your liking of this Bible. F this. And he, at one point, he said it's only a temple. As he was pouring that syrup all over, he said it's only a temple. Like what you making a big deal of it all? It's only a temple. Like he was definitely doing mind control moves to brainwash them out of looking at a church as though it was so good,
right,
righteous, or as though they would come there to look for any righteous, and damn near without real discussion brought them on board as though they think like he thinks. Thus it's only a temple, or why y'all act like y'all care about this?
Right.
Meaning, really y'all think like I think. I'm really just bringing it out of you. That's what he was doing to them dumbass black women in that church, and some of them stupid ass men, and all them faggots. Like, he basically is saying, get on board with me. That none of this don't mean nothing, and y'all don't care about none of this anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's really what he was putting out, before everybody, which is just incredibly evil and incredibly wrong, and gonna garner just what he he wants to garner. And like you brought out too, if I could real quick, coming back to you, Khan, is that he, just like a lot of them, were thinking just that way. They're there to make sure black women never go back to helping their man. And there's no way you can tell me that this is not a continuation of the 1970s welfare program where you had to have a man out of the house. Like this is just the continuation of that program. That program was revealed that welfare program was designed to keep black people utterly poor and to make sure that the family gets broken up by putting the husband out and taking away his authority. And then when the Vietnam War came, it meant now the white man was going to be your woman's husband and authority, because most black women before that Vietnam War, most of them were extremely domesticated, many of which didn't even work. At that time, a single paycheck from a man could cover his household, cover his car, you know what I mean, cover his general bills. So he didn't need his wife to work. And it was like, made no sense if you had small kids. What are you doing working for? Yeah. Like it wasn't even in our psyche to leave our homes, to have our women leave our homes early, drop kids off at daycare centers and stuff, and just abandon them. Of course, there were some women that did all these things, but the majority of women were domesticated, did a lot. That's where you get all this cooking from. This cooking that you hear about, Big Mama's house and all of that stuff. All of that came out of the years that women barely worked, and that men were the main breadwinners. But of course, when he had cut men off, and when the economics went in the ground because they poured all the drugs into our neighborhoods back then in the 60s under the CIA, admittedly, then they needed to come up with a solution, which was, we'll keep them poor, we'll give them damn near barely enough to survive on, and will require their husband not be in the house. So now you had this very domesticated woman who loved her man and used to roll with her man, whether he was working or not, or got on drugs or all that. They always tried to take care of him. Now he's out of the house and he got to stay out the house for this little bit of paycheck, which she's barely feeding herself with and her kids with. She won't get this check. So it damn near forced black women to turn on black men. Like turn on them, say, no, man, don't come around. I need this to get this check for these babies. So don't come around. And so the brother had to get out of the house and not be around or hide in the closet, because at the time they would send the workers out to your house. Just like DHS come out to your house to check if your kids are all right. Well, they had people come out to your house to make sure that you weren't hiding a man in the house, and to make sure that you didn't have things that were too expensive. If they came over and you had expensive things in the house, they assumed that came from the man and cut your welfare off. Like they was diabolical with it, and it just slowly kept us in the same poverty. And I'm convinced that now that it stopped working and you got the internet and all of that, that the way they do it now is to divide you with the church, to put homosexuals over the church, have women looking at these homosexuals as men of God, following they twisted sexual philosophies, and as a result, turning against black men, turning against, like you mentioned earlier, turning against toxic masculinity, as they call it, and just basically turning against the traditional family. A lot of people believe, and this propaganda went out for years, that black men don't take care of their kids. Black men always run out, leave their woman and leave her with the kids. That propaganda went on for years. Right. When in fact, the propaganda was actually opposite. Black men were trying to establish homes and establish families, but these women were being taught to do none of that. The women were being taught since the 70s that the problem in their life is having a black man, which is what led to the whole I need a what they call it? What kind of man is it? A high value man.
Value.
That whole mindset of thinking they need a high value man came from them being taught for so many years that this black man was the problem. So black women in their own mind came up with the conclusion that I want a black man because that's my desire for. So what I'm gonna have to do now is set the standard or the rules by which a black man can be a part of my life. And that's when they came up with all these rules that were so unrealistic, mainly because they came from homosexuals, and as a result, destroy any last monicum of a chance of a relationship between black men and black women. And then came this with the church that filled black women up on Sundays, marginalized and made black men basically into, a paycheck. You know what I mean? That made him only valuable if he was bringing something, as they put it, bringing something to the table.
Right.
That's what made that's the only time that he's valuable. And so we got to that point. And if I could tell a little personal story that I tell all the time, is that growing up in around that time and being a young kid, I watched the Jehovah's Witnesses. I always talk about it. I watched them go door to door in my neighborhood, and I watched them literally destroy people's homes. And I now that I think back, I know that had to be a government program, one we may never ever see the records of and the paperwork for. But I know for a fact now that was because it was done on such a massive scale, and it was done and successful by so many men. I mean, they would come. I mean, so many of those Jehovah's Witnesses, they would come into the neighborhood. They would knock on these women's doors. These women's husbands would be gone. And just imagine now, you're a woman and you're at home. You're at home in the comfort of your warm home with your children. Now, you ain't got much money or anything, but that man was going out working all day and leaving you there to take care of these kids. And you had the most wonderful life. That's when all the sitcoms was popular. If you ever heard the term sitcom, or you know what I'm talking about, this is why they were popular. It was popular because it was so many millions of women, black and Latino, who were home all day. So they played these sitcoms. So these women looked forward to their favorite sitcom to keep along with the story as they was doing their local domestic things in the house.
Right.
They would watch. They said they had their favorite stars and their favorite people that they would watch every day. Some of these sitcoms ran for 30 and 40 years. These sitcoms. And that's what they did until they started getting the knocks on the door from the Jehovah's Witnesses. The Jehovah's Witnesses interrupted them going to listen to them stories and got up in the house and basically brainwashed those sisters, you understand, to turn against their husband. Convinced them to proselytize them into being a Jehovah's Witness, and then told them that if your husband does not convert to being a Jehovah's Witness, you got to get rid of him.
That's crazy.
And so now, I'd literally watch and see them as I'm hanging out in the neighborhood and hanging out, during the weekends. I would literally see them come in, knock on people's doors, and eventually get their hooks into several women. They get their hooks into those women and they talk to those women. And then, 6 weeks later, I hear the arguments in the hallways.
Right.
I'm hearing the arguments. I'm hearing the back and forth. Next thing you know, all these men is getting put out their house. And then you see their wives going and becoming Jehovah's Witnesses and eventually going to get a job and looking for a babysitter. You know what I mean? So they, in essence, broke that black family. And this right here is just a continuation of the same evil thing. They got their hooks in these black women because, of course, the education is cheesy in this kingdom when it comes to black people. You know what I mean? And with bad leadership, all they do is get caught up into this. And then this becomes the important thing. Like this, like desecrating this Bible becomes the thing in serving the Lord. Not a single conversation by these homosexuals on how black women can keep their families together, how to attract a brother and keep him, how to build a family, the roles of men and women. None of those issues ever come up while they on this pulpit. But some esoteric way of serving God, some esoteric way of making Jesus your man. And because of that, we are destroyed. And this looks so much like a government brainwashing program. So, Lakia, I yield.
Crazy. So, water for that, too. I had to ask you because there's a sister trying to come to class, and she's telling me about her experience in the Christian church. She said one of these pastors, okay, first you pull a scripture from the Apocrypha. She said, well, I thought we wasn't supposed to read the Apocrypha. I said, well, who told you that? She said the preacher. She said she had the Apocrypha in her Bible. The preacher told her, do not read that book ever. So she just skipping over the whole thing like it's the boogeyman.
Wow.
That tells me another story where the preacher punched her in the goddamn face because she asked some question. Yep. She said she asked some question. And so I asked her, I said, why you didn't call the police? She said, at the time with the Christian, she's so young, everybody in there, it was one of them things where she said she knows she should have called the police. She said she knows should have did better and left. But the hold that they be having on the people, it was just one of them things where, okay, she done made Pastor mad. That was the whole vibe.
Yes. Wow.
And as I'm seeing this here, that's why I asked, like, what the hell is this? Because he doing all of this there, I'm sure he's done violating people in the back room.
Yes. Yes, listen, if they molesting children, they ain't got no problem slapping a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's what's so messed up about it. Like, without this church, these sisters got such great potential in this. A lot of these sisters today hold decent jobs. That's why these churches are so rich. A lot of these sisters today are not clubbers. They're not club heads. The younger ones are coming up now. A lot of them are club heads and drug addicts and so forth. But the ones, the generation right before this and before that, they was not really big club heads.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they were taught all this behavior. And it's appeared as though there was a chance for them to be able to be brought back from that. You know what I mean? Brought back from their own arrogance. You know what I mean? But now it's a much more difficult task, but still not impossible through the grace and mercy of the Most High. But they have been drugged away. And think about this for a minute. If you're not a club head, if you're not in the streets, then the church is your social construct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You like you go into church, you have a relationship with a man. Maybe he's a homosexual or God knows what else, a child molester. You figure it out. You find out maybe it doesn't work out. You just pack up and go to another church and start all over. And so they go to these churches out and they got conventions and events and definitely a micro event every Sunday.
Right.
After a while, it just becomes your social life.
Yeah.
Your social life is to be under these rude ass faggots while they turn around and try to tell you how to have you a decent life when in essence telling you use a stupid broad for even wanting a man. You understand that you need to just, enjoy, believe in Jesus. In essence, you need to love a phantom. Right. Instead of trying to love an actual man, you should be loving a phantom and living your own selfish, vain life. And they almost disgusted by the fact that you even keep questioning them. And let me tell you something else too. They are disgusted the more you want to have piety. The more you come with humility and piety, this faggot can't stand you.
Right.
The more you come to him like as a real shepherd and treat him like he's really a man of God, the more he's disgusted by you because he hates women anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like this woman that I hate is coming here, acting moral and acting decent And in essence, in that acting decent is challenging me on this closet homosexuality I'm doing in the back.
Right.
So he's just disgusting and an enemy, you know what I mean, to what it is that he's doing. You know what I mean? And it's insane. It's definitely a major part of what has to be stopped among us. And it's so right that we do it. It's so right we trashed Martin MLK Day coming up tomorrow. Trash that statue, trash all those men that was with him. Like that should always be a major day that we, you know, tear that thing down. I yield, Khan. Sorry about that.
Oh no, ain't no thing. I just want to say, if I could, General, like that video with him throwing the food around, it's definitely sexual. There's something called foodgasms. That if you look it up and you look at the table, he has a table and it's like sweets. It's like syrup or cherries, and it's like an aphrodisiac that he has on the table. No, it's mainly like the sweet things that he's doing.
Yeah.
So he's having this is an actual fetish.
Yeah.
He's performing. This is a food fetish, and it's like one of those fetishes where they like to get messy with the food.
Yeah.
Like you have men and women that like to get messy with the food. Like he's really performing a sexual act in front of the church.
Yep.
But he's using food. Food is his mechanism of doing that. But this is a fetish. You know what I'm saying? It's called wet and messy. It's called wham. It's really a fetishism that he's doing.
Dang.
You know, and he's transforming food to the, they transform food to a canvas or somewhere or on people. It really, throwing and spreading food is sexual to him. And this is actually what you said is just so heavy, and people can go look it up. This is a fetish. And he's doing that. A lot of the people in the church probably don't see that. But you look up food play. Look up the word food play. Look up wet and messy. Okay? Acronym WHAM. You heard of WAP, you got the WHAM now. You know what I'm saying? You got but notice that he ain't like he throwing lettuce. He's not throwing lettuce or tomato. He's throwing everything sweet. So this is a form of sexual perversion demonstrated in the church. The whipped cream. So everything that you're saying, General, is showing that this is how they do, and they have to bring it in here, bring it into these places where they deem as holy, and to make it unholy.
Yeah.
Like just so heavy, General. It's like I yield.
Listen, that was heavy. That was heavy what you said. You know what I mean? Like this is a major problem for us in rebuilding families.
Right. If I could, sir,
please.
And as I'm watching this video of him prancing around and throwing his food, I remember coming out of the Christian church, right, and starting to watch classes in the UPK. And I'll never forget, I was so amazed when Jeremiah Jaime would sit down and he'd start the class with questions. Anybody have questions? And I'd be like, you could ask questions? Coming out of the Christian church, there's no such thing. You can't ask questions. You just gotta go. I can't. Everybody in that audience, nobody came with any questions because they don't know what antics he has this week. He's just distracting everybody. I mean, so imagine like the world is falling apart while he's doing this. There's the scripture. There's another scripture on the Watchman is in the book of Zechariah chapter 33, where it says, if you, I'm paraphrasing, but I think in verse 2 says, if you appoint a watchman, right? Because they're giving him their tithes, they've appointed him a watchman.
Yep.
And this is what he's doing right before World War III hits. And he has no answers for nobody. And he just prancing around and dancing and spilling syrup over the Bible. That's their in church. And they're gonna come out there saying, wow, we was just in the house of the Lord. This is as evil as it could be.
Yes, it is.
It's like I yield.
Yeah. And he's so very, so feminine, and so a fame jockey that he took the Drewski skit and acted like it was him. Like Drewski was copying him when Drewski was copying any old preacher. He didn't have any. He wasn't particularly going after him, but he took it like that because it was his opportunity to try to steal some light. You know what I mean? From the incident, he knew it was going to be famous. He just put himself in the incident and act like Drewski was coming at him. But he just was really trying to steal all the fame that he could get off of off of that skit. You know what I mean? Which was, you know, and now some of them are mad at Drewski for doing the skit, but why would you be mad? He only did what y'all do.
Right.
And it show you that these is performances, because that's why they put all them cables up in the air and all that.
That's right.
They coming in on them cables and all that because they trying to perform. You know what I mean? They're trying to be famous. You know what I mean? To promote this horrible thing that they promote, and all financed by white Christians. Them same white Christians who are white supremacists and putting out all this white supremacy. They the same ones that finance these black churches to make money off of them. You know what I mean? At one point, remember, Kahan, you came up against them. Because at one point, they was telling them that they could not teach that Jesus was black.
Yep.
You had to get out on the street and question them about it. And they couldn't deny it. You know what I mean? It eventually came out that that's exactly what their white counterparts were telling them. And they were prepared to be obedient because they didn't want their loans called in on their churches.
Salaki, General.
Go ahead, up.
That was at the Southern Baptist Convention in Nashville. They called it critical race theory. Just by pointing out that Christ is black. They told the black churches, because the black churches was starting, you know, once again they seeing the work that we do in ISUPK on these streets, and they started to go back. They congregants started to go back into the church and say, well, I'm hearing that Christ is black. They showed me this. And then now they was taking the task, these pastors, and then a few of them, they say, you know what that is, right? He's biblically, they use another term instead of saying black. You know, black, it was a little too radical to say he's black. They said he's right.
A man of color.
A man of color, but General, even that was too much, because the white they was almost like you bringing in a heresy. Christ is a black man in the Southern Baptist Convention organization.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you're so right, because that Southern Baptist Church out, that's the client. That is the progenitor of the Ku Klux Klan. And as a progenitor of it, they could smell them black churches trying to bring in the black Jesus. They smelled it. You tried to get to them churches fast enough, but them white evangelicals, boy, they smelled that truth coming too far away. They watching it over their churches. You know, man. They said, we financing this nigga a $700,000 church, and he about to start teaching Jesus is black. Oh, hell no. And they came in and shut that nonsense down. Not nonsense, but you get my point. They came in and shut it down and made sure that you didn't get nowhere with it. You know what I mean? So, John, go ahead.
Come, sir. And you said something earlier too, General, that was heavy with how these churches are like this is with Jehovah's Witnesses and the churches, how you wouldn't be surprised if it's a whole government program like this. There was a point in time, Bill Clinton passed a bill called the Arson Act. I forgot the specific name of it. He passed a bill that would make stronger penalties for people that would burn churches because white Southern Baptist members were burning black churches all throughout the Midwest and the South. And it seems like now the religion of Christianity has never been for our people. But there's a short period of time in American history where the black church was almost like a place where political activism would come out of.
Right.
Where black leaders would come out of and gather. And it seems like somewhere along the line, probably after Martin Luther King, it turned from that to this. And it's like now you don't hear about black churches getting burned anymore. Not because Bill Clinton passed that bill, but you don't hear about black churches getting burned anymore because they completely taken in the whole institution of black churches. And so now you got bread and circus. Like this is no different than your Sunday night football game. This is straight, like you said, performance, bread and circus. Versus before there was actually, some type of political activism going on in the church where it was like, okay, we got to look to see what can we do for the community. Like, again, the religion of Christianity was never for us and the church was never for us. But you can tell there's been a complete shift of what this is. And these racist white men are not burning these churches down. They are letting these thrive because they've understood that, okay, we ain't got to burn them down. We'll put a homosexual up there. We'll put them right up there and we'll let them desecrate the Bible in front of these people that claim to believe in the Bible. We'll have them prance and do all those things. And we ain't understanding, like, this is them burning the church spiritually. Like they burning it and destroying the people inside the building spiritually. And we not seeing it or recognizing it. And this is why they come up against masculinity so hard, because I remember being in church and there'd be times where my pops would just walk out. I remember if it took too long, if the sermon was too long, he'd be like, I'm out. And those of us, of course, all the kids, we follow him because we like, we ready to go too. And so it's like, I couldn't imagine the type of, deadness in spirit that's within these people where nobody walked out. Like they burnt the people to a crisp spiritually. That's why they dry bones. They burnt the church spiritually. There's dry bones is in there. And the truth is the only thing that brings that spirit back to life, where a man can say, yeah, that's foolishness, and we leaving, and we not coming back here. So, like I said,
right, like give it up. Yeah, you right. Like the church is. I definitely am convinced that is the latest government institution to keep us at a hold and basically to hold us here until they decide, a full destruction of us. When you think about it, all the black organizations, the NAACP, and the rest of those black organizations are all made up of black preachers. Every last one of them. There's black preachers running every black so-called organization. Like these preachers, they got the biggest hold on the black community, which is our women. You know what I'm saying? Like they got the biggest hold by holding our women and enough of our men. And they are the place that slowly began to really push the idea of homosexuality. You know what I mean? Like it is mostly pushed in church. It is almost, you can almost guarantee, if one of them grandmamas gets hold of your kid and takes that kid to church every week, you can almost guarantee that either he's going to be molested, congregate with homosexuals as his friends, be left to experiment in some homosexual act somewhere within the circle of those churches, and before you know it, being pushed into homosexuality and lesbianism too. That's another thing that goes unchecked, is how much of that goes on as well. Like America decides what they want us to be, and then they just send out the most hideous among us to try and carry it out. You know what I'm saying? That scripture, which is so profound in the Apocrypha, where those black leaders went and said, man, we should go to Caesar and get permission to set up these houses of exercise, because since we left, we have not prospered. And yet the Christian church appears to be they appear to be the ones who never go south. It's only been in the last few years that these big churches have been shutting down. But prior to that, they were piling the cash up, by the truckload.
Come.
You know what I mean? And then getting financed unconventionally by white churches. Salaki, go ahead, Khan.
And I want to say one thing I noticed too, and just watching this video, General, you making these heavy points. I noticed he's throwing the serve and desecrating everything else, but I noticed something that he's not desecrating himself. He makes sure he makes sure he's not getting dirty.
Yep.
Like when he's walking, he's like, okay, let me just make sure I'm not messing up myself.
Yep.
I can mess up everything else. And then, like you said, for him to say that it's just a temple. Like look how he's walking. It's like, okay, let me make sure I don't get dirty.
Yeah.
But I can make sure the Bible is dirty. Everything the church, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just the scriptures say the Lord don't dwell in the unclean temple.
Sure enough.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Like, no, it's just while you making your observation, while you making, you know what I'm saying, breaking this down, General, I noticed that the Christian church, they don't have anything, there's no practicality in what they do.
No. And I think it's no practicality because it's really a brainwashing program.
Yes, sir.
So lucky to cut you off. And can I ask one last quick point if I could, Kahan?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you see the point where he's like that, looking down with his hands out like that?
Yes, sir.
Look, that point, the way he walked over to that chair. Look at this. See how he got his head down and his hands like that, and he's walking a certain way. That is how your grandmother walks in the house.
Right.
She walks like that so she doesn't hit the furniture. She has her hands out like that so she can maintain her balance. Like this comes from years of watching a evil grandmother that he hates. Like that's what an evil grandmother that was a staunch Christian that treated him like garbage. And so every Sunday he had to go to church, and then all during the week he had to be treated from this grandmother, and he watched all of her mannerisms, all of her ways, and now he's become a preacher really to desecrate that house. See these guys walking through the chairs like that? And he was tipping through the chairs with his hands like that. That's an evil grandmother. That's a Christian grandmother right there. That's what you're looking at. And that's the demon that's on him right there. Is a Christian grandmother.
A Medea.
Something like that. Exactly. That's a certain spirit that's on him. And there's a certain spirit when he went over there with those when he went to, go get the syrup and stuff. And listen, even all that throwing the cake and stuff, all that, he's probably been in that house whilst that grandmother just went berserk on some guy, some man she was sleeping with, or some man that was her husband, and she just went crazy in that house, probably on many occasions, throwing food all around, just going off. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these women that come out to church have that ghetto illness where they have to be in power over men. And so they just, no matter any time that man even begins to act like he's going to raise his head up with any masculinity, she goes bananas, so that he learns the lesson that no matter what, that he ain't never going to be able to expect. Like that masculine spirit on him is an enemy in the house that boy grew up in. He grew up in a house where being masculine was an enemy to grandma. And grandma crushed the man's soul any chance she could, because of course she was the one who owned the house by this time. And so now she was ruling the house. and belittling this man if he ever let his spirit come up. So what happens to the boy that's sitting around watching this every day? Now, he's ignoring it and trying to appease the grandmother. But the boy eventually grows up to be a young man. And as he grows up to be a young man, he grows up to learn how evil this grandmother is. And as he goes to learn how evil she is, he still follows her like you would any parent, but he follows her in a desecrated way. Like, I see the whole psychology on this thing right here with this guy. Like, what happened to him was horrific. He probably been molested as well because he was in that church for many years. He probably got well molested up in there.
Yeah.
So now he gets away from all masculinity by being homosexual, by putting on an effeminate spirit, and he gets to desecrate that church who his mama stood on so hard while abusing him and any other man that came within her proximity.
Come.
It's a horrible, horrible thing. Hey, this thing he doing is evil beyond belief, and it's fitting to put that at Martin Luther King's doorstep. It is the right thing to do because Martin Luther King was one ignorant ass nigga, man. Like, it was the right thing to do to put that shit right at his doorstep. And it's the future of us, and it's what's gonna bring judgment on us. Like, I got like the Lord looking down and seeing this and saying, why should I come help these people? He was gonna wipe us out during Moses. We doing worse than we did during Moses right now. And there ain't no real reason to come get us. You know what I'm saying? Like what you gonna provoke him with? You know what I mean? Like all Moses could say to the Lord was for your name's sake. All Daniel could call on the Lord and say, for your mercy's sake. Like, none of them, these are great men of God, and they could not make a single legitimate argument to the Most High for delivering us. Moses was, extraordinary. Daniel was extraordinary. These were extraordinary men who could not make a single legitimate argument on why God should help us. Instead, had to appeal to the Lord's name and had to appeal them. They're like, we married to the Lord and we his liability. Like we tied to the Most High, and the only reason that we get help is because he got a reputation to keep up. Because he got to be able to say, that this is not what you think. You know what I'm saying? Which is, and now look at us now at this time. Like, man, at this time we in a far worse situation. There's really no reason to deliver us. And when it would be nice if there was a reason for him to say, for you to argue your point to the Lord. Like, it'd be nice to be able to say to the Lord, look, you don't see how these people came after 400 years and are following your laws, statutes, and commandments. You don't see how they got rid of every God among them and every false prophet among them and brought forth this knowledge to you and standing at your doorstep. Right. You know what I mean? Then you'd have an argument. Then the Lord would have to say, well, shit, you right. You know what I mean? That's what he said about David. He said, I will not destroy Jerusalem for David's sake. Meaning because David was right, he had to reach all the way back to David for an actual reason to come help black people, Latinos and Native Indians. He had to go back to David for a reason because he had no reason among us. And that, brothers, is going to get stopped. Like, we're gonna deal in a new deal when it comes to serving Yahushua. We ain't letting this come down ever again. I pray we have all this in the kingdom. Like, this stuff here is probably gonna be in classified archives only to be viewed by priests of a certain level, because ain't nobody gonna want this to ever come out on the street again.
Right.
This should be like Area 51 over there for Esau. You gotta go to Area 51 and you want to see one of these videos, because it'll be like, this is the examination of all manner of evil, and it is only for your learning when you have to learn what to put down and what to look for. But this is not to get out among the public, because this is like a virus. Like this will, after a while, this will be treated like a virus. It'll be treated like, it'll go back to the days of the death penalty for these type of acts, simply because the Lord knew just how destructive it was. Not now, but in that kingdom, it's going to definitely be a different tune.
Right.
I yield. Salaki.
So, like, General, I just out of curiosity,
Meshach, I lost you. Meshach, you there? Or you lost me? Sound like you lost me.
hint into something
You
else.
there? Yeah, I had lost you for a minute, Meshach.
No sweat, sir.
Go ahead, tell me what you were gonna say.
Yeah, I was saying, I just out of curiosity, I looked up to see what the Google is saying for what he did, and it said he had some sermon called "Fit to Finish," and it says he used it metaphorically to use a sticky, messy syrup to represent how faith can be messy or difficult, yet still leads to something sweet. He said, you have to learn to trust God's process, even if it don't make sense or it's messy. Well, of course, they're saying people online, he getting backlash, so he apologized for it. But okay, this is the thing: if the Bible confuses somebody, or they get confused and they don't understand the process, you don't need to add a mess to it.
That's right.
Like it damn near seem like he is telling them already something is coming that's going to get them confused, and it's going to be messy, and it's going to involve him. And he's just preparing them now, like he's laying the foundation, like maybe another Eddie Long, or maybe the Diddy tape or something. But he trying to say to them, like, that's why he's making such a mess. He's making such a mess with the whole thing. And because he's saying it could get messy, and it's not gonna make sense sometimes. But when he said to trust it even when it doesn't make sense. That's what he says.
Like it sounds like he's worried about his gay lover being exposed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when the mess come out, y'all don't freak out. You know what I'm saying? When it come out that that I'm having full out homosexual orgies. You know what I mean? In the mansion y'all bought me.
Right.
Good night.
Don't freak out. It could get messy. You know what I mean? Like, and that's such a lie, because the scriptures say that because we sin against the Lord, what belongeth to us is confusion of faces. Like, you only get confused when you turn against the Lord.
Right.
You doing something against the Lord, then you end up in confusion, because what you thought would happen never happens.
Right.
So what the hell is he talking about? Once again, that's like brainwashing. Brainwashing, you in essence convince people to not trust their own judgment, to not trust their own mental process, but instead to defer their mental process to you, and you'll let them know what is good and bad and right and wrong. And in essence, you create a ton of confusion so that they cannot understand what is good or bad or right and wrong. And so now they rely on you to tell them what's good and bad and right and wrong. And then as they go to do that, you turn around and push the idea of whatever the idea it is you are. And in this case, homosexuality and lust and everything Roman is what he's pushing. He's pushing it in so-called God's house with enough confusion that you can't see the shit coming.
Yeah.
These women don't even know they're watching a sexual act, like you was bringing out, Con. Like, they don't even know. They sitting in this church and they don't even know that they are watching a full out homosexual event in front of their eyes. That's why when it comes out that he's really gay or whatever and all that, they won't be shocked, because it was already in their subconscious mind. If they come out next week and say, yeah, he been busted for having orgies, or 3 men get up on there with lipstick and say, yes, we had sexual relationships with him for many years, blah, blah, blah. the congregation won't be shocked. They won't be shocked because he's already basically telling them in their subconscious mind. This is a very, very evil thing. Salaki, go ahead up.
No, I was just saying it's like a form of grooming, like what you're saying. Like
exactly
in the church in front of everybody, and the visual effect, the symbolism, like you said, is like it's a form of sexual expression, and everything is sweet on the table. Syrup and caramel and all the other cakes and pies, and like it's a sexual act. It's his fetish. He's fetishizing in front of him and looking at the crowd like. He's looking at the crowd for a reaction, like, y'all, what are you upset about? You know what I'm saying? Like, he got in that position and he's like, he's going to act this out in front of everybody. He's not reading the word of the Lord and like, man, this is crazy, man. Like, man, we in bad shape, man.
For a minute. That's why the men of God have to be strong and are strong and doing an amazing job. Because they cutting through this. Like the men that come into this truth and join this body and walk in this fight, these men are men that is, break from the complete mind game that's being done in this empire. Break from it all. You know what I'm saying?
General, there's another video of him, right? This is him here looking like a whole woman. And if I could just play it, because oh boy, look how he sit with his legs crossed like a woman. He sit there, the leg crossed. Yeah, when he hold big shoes, then the plunging neckline blazer with the choker. So he's saying some screenshot came out with him and somebody else, and he's talking about how they calling him nasty. And this is what he says, right?
Salaki, we can't hear it, Cap.
Oh shit, Salaki. Let me reshare it. I may have to just reshare it. 1 second.
And if I could, while you putting that back together, if I could, that is so the Christian church. This Christian church is such a place where homosexuals get to pretend like they're not homosexual. Like they get to pretend like they are part of normal society while being flaming gay men. Him, that old nasty Eddie Long, and that New Birth Baptist Church. That is an abomination over there. And these particular homosexuals are so homosexual that they so effeminate that they cannot even hide their effeminateness. Like they got to prance all out like a sodomite. Salakia. Go ahead, Doc.
Constant. Like that's really what it is. Like you saying, they have free reign, nothing holding them. So you see him here with how he's sitting.
A screenshot with some of my brothers earlier today that I cannot repeat on this telecast. But people basically had written off every good thing that I'd ever done because of one thing that wasn't a sin. It was just gross. It was just disgusting. But I can think of a lot of other things y'all do with spit too. Anyway,
you see what I'm saying?
This dude, see that? That's brainwashing. Like, and let me tell you something. It's next level, because in essence, he's teaching black women that you really are an evil, wicked sinner. You don't care about this Bible. You don't care about this temple. You don't, you doing evil things with spit also. And as a result, you understand you are, not worthy to, serve the Lord. So why don't you go on and just damn near he wants you to admit that you're a wicked piece of shit like him.
Right.
And that's in essence where he's trying to bring these women to. You know what I'm saying? And that's how, and that was a false accusation against the entire congregation.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of other ones that you do with spit. And like damn near like I know you's a wicked bunch of bastards. So how you gonna, charge me with whatever it is that he had? What is it that he did? He spit on somebody?
That I ain't find that part, but
Lord, I think I remember. Brothers mentioned it last Monday night. I think he had someone spit in his mouth, or he spit in someone else's mouth.
Nah,
That's what he did. He and that's what they talking about. They said it was gross because, of course, he was on the table for doing that, which he was supposed to do that because that's what probably made him famous.
It's Salaka, John.
Yeah.
If I could, that I don't know which one came first, the food or the spit, but there's a correlation.
I think the spit came first.
The spit, so now the spit came first, and then now, like you said, the perversion is just steady growing, and he's using the churches, like he's using the congregation, like okay, like he's using their sin or what he perceived as sin as leverage. Like you can't judge me because I know about what you do. Like it's really like I mean, it's so disgusting. If
he's teaching them, and he's teaching them to do it.
Exactly.
That's how he knows they doing it. He know how wicked the Christian church is because he's teaching them to do it, and he knows how wicked it is because he's been molested.
Mm-hmm.
And he might have been molested by men and or women.
Right.
Like these older, lonely black women are. They passing some of these young faggots around out like you buy a prostitute. These faggots got to go around to these 40 and 50-year-old women, supposedly to clean up the yard or clean out the attic, and they over there having full-out sexual relations with these women, and they full-out gay men. But she don't care. She just getting a rod in her, and and that's that.
Yeah.
And you ever want to see them, man? Go to one of they popular restaurants or something after late on a Sunday when they come up in there. They be in a sexual frenzy when they come up in that restaurant because they've been listening to that preacher and been getting wet all day because of the evil shit he doing on that stage.
Right.
And they don't got no man at home, and they come to that restaurant, brother, and be buzzing with sexual lust.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So like, if I could too, there's a comedian. She used to act on the I think it was Living Single shows, and she's on a podcast with different preachers. I saw the video earlier today, and there's this podcast. There's a preacher. He's almost like a pimp, and he one of them. He up there. He have a gun on him, and he pulled the precept with by a sword. The rest of the preachers is not with it. Then they're talking about marriage. So she say, when Bishop got married, there was a lot of angry women, and she said she didn't know it. She said she went to sit in the front row, and they told her to move, and she didn't understand why. And then all the preachers started nodding and say, "Yep," and you found out why. And she said, "Yeah." She said a lot of them women be in the front row with no drawers on, flashing the preacher.
Dang.
And they all nodded. They all nodded in agreement, saying, "Yep, you couldn't be up there because you wasn't one of them." And that's why they were so hurt when he chose one of the women who wasn't one of them to marry.
Wow.
Right.
Like the church right now is, is the strip club, is the whole house. Is that exactly what it is? Which is why this fool here, he's just like, don't tell me nothing about what I'm doing, because all y'all nasty and we gonna be nasty together and just keep anyway. Don't even question none of the nasty shit you're seeing.
Damn.
It's horrible in there right now. Absolutely horrible.
Right. You gotta be careful. You sit down in the pews, you might sit down in some shit. You might sit down in there, bro, and get up and something and stuck to you.
The COVID 25.
Not to mention the legion of demons is gonna try to get on you.
That's right. That's right. Like the demon that's on him, you see, and as he talking, the faces he making.
Yes.
He hugged the pillow like a person who going for therapy on a couch.
Dang.
He hugged that pillow. Look at his disposition. You see, he looked down at his wrist, playing with the cuffs. Then look at how he sit here. with the big shoes, they wear one leg like a woman. Like he's couch, and he's supposed to be leading a whole congregation, and he's like this year it's a whole mess in there.
Yeah,
That's crazy. That's crazy. And let me tell you something. It takes real men of God to analyze this straight up.
Right.
Almost nobody's willing to really put the analytics to how evil this shit is.
Right. Yes, sir.
I yield, Salon.
I'm to what you were saying too, sir. He is portraying himself as a victim when he is a predator. Like he's portraying himself like, you know what I mean? Like I'm this, I'm harmless. He ain't harmless. You better not leave your kids around this person here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The way he's talking too loose to leave a kid around him. You know what I mean? He talking too loose. You know what I mean? Like he
Can you imagine what they learning?
Concert.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And even how he admitted it. He admitted it almost like, you know, he tell you it was gross. Meaning almost like he knows that it was evil and gross, but you're the same way. And if you're looking at him like he's a man of God that knows, you don't believe that you are the same way.
Right.
But he's dragging you into lust and disgustingness.
Yeah.
Like that place right there. Like I looked at them sisters in that shelter and I said, I know exactly where y'all come from. Y'all are the victims of these churches. And now you destroy. Brothers was out there too. But it looked like the brothers could fare better with being homeless on them streets than a woman could.
Yeah.
And Salaki, you know, he's the preacher that, you know, spit and rub the spit in the other brother's face. I don't know if you remember, he did that story like a year or two ago.
I remember it.
He spit and he rubbed it up in there, and so he's the one that did that. And if you look at him here, he still look, you know, sodomitish, but he ain't as far gone as that other one where he's, you know, folded up in the chair. You could tell he declined over the years with him to the point where he have on a woman's blazer. You seen all his chest hairs with the choker chain on. I mean, compared to this one here, where he's still sodomitish for doing anything, but look, he's dressed more like, you know, like a church boy. The other one, like a damn diva up there talking about, you know, I don't know what you all do. I don't know what nasty shit you all do. Like, it's a whole decline in the church that I don't think the people in there seeing unless they hear us on the street, which is why it's so shocking when they hear what we say. Like, they're really under serious witchcraft in there, because like I told you, so the sister, the preacher punched her straight in her damn face. He was drunk. She asked shit. And she says, there's other people in there. It's not leaving by herself. At first, I thought there was something going on. And she said, no, there's other people there. And the whole vibe was like, you know, you done made Pastor mad. They under so much witchcraft. Unless they see and hear us, they're not breaking that spell on their own.
Yeah.
It's not breaking. It's not like this, like somebody spitting. If somebody spits on you, you're gonna fight them. This nigga spit in his hand, rub it in your face, you still there. The people still there.
Good night.
He did a whole circus show on the stage. And none of you will be like, yo, what you doing?
Right. Like somebody who wasn't in the chat said, no question in the scripture. No asking what scripture is that. Who put that in the chat? Let me see if I find it.
Yeah, I think I saw it. Screw about it.
You saw it too, right? Now, can we get the tape where he rubbed the spit, where he spit in somebody's face and rubbed it? And this is a member of the congregation he did this to?
I think this is not just a member. I think this is one of his deacons or high up people.
Probably somebody he having sexual relationships with.
Yep, that to be comfortable with all that spit. Hell,
Say again?
Nasty. I said somebody that would be comfortable with all that spit.
Right. Right. Right.
Sure.
He knew it was because what did the guy do? The guy never freaked out or never nothing.
No, he stayed right there. And he was rubbing it in his face like a mother would rub lotion on a child, like rubbing it.
Wow.
He was rubbing it in his face, rubbing it. I guess he wanted to make a point, just like with the food. Like he's just something else.
Is that the tape right there?
No, let me see if I could find the tape. So 1 second.
I'm hoping you don't find it, but let's see if we find it.
Listen, I ain't gonna even look for it because I'm more likely to find it.
If I could.
It's so far. Go ahead.
It is some of these preachers, man, that make them think they're above reproach.
Yes.
Like that's why the scriptures say, man, we strengthen the hand of the evildoers. Like like we the one that give them all that tithe money and their prestige and all these things, and they feel like they are above reproach.
Yeah.
Can't nobody speak, can't nobody chastise them or rebuke them in the scriptures for the evil that they're doing. And they do it in a place where they have the whole congregation there, and they up on the stage, and nobody's saying nothing because they sitting there like, look, what are you gonna tell me? You know what I'm saying? Like you coming to me for spiritual guidance or whatnot. So he's really spiritually abusing the people for his own sexual gratification. It definitely all these things, all these innuendos are sexual. It got to do with something, some food or his saliva, and it's all sexual orientated.
Which is solely way of the Romans. Which is why them Christian evangelicals can't get a woman.
Right.
Like they cannot for the life of them get a woman, and it's why they are angry and frustrated and mad as hell. They're going to want to do what they're going to want to do to white women is going to be insane if given enough of the power for them to do it. You know what I'm saying? Angel said this. Said they got a bank just for churches, but the only way you can get a loan is if you speak what they want you to speak. It is ridiculous out of one. Sir. Like that is crazy. Which is what you came up against when you came up against what is it, the Southern
Baptist Convention.
Southern Baptist Convention.
And the devil said we talked about the black churches that's in the Southern Baptist Convention. He said the white man said we give them a voice. Not God. He said we give them a voice. So how are you giving them a voice if they're supposed to be serving the Lord? They go right back to the scripture where they say that they prophesy for hire or for money. That is these churches. Like they don't have, and they gonna, at the closer we get to the end, ain't no separation of church and state, because they're gonna speak exactly what the church supports the state, and the state upholds the church.
Yep.
Because that's the message, like you said, Jim. That's the message they push. Even Kazak Ahmad brought out about how this is spiritually burning the church. You don't have to physically burn the church. This man is a man that's led by his flesh. If they understand the spirit and understand the Bible, this man is totally led by his. Ain't nothing spiritual about this man. You see him put and rubbing in somebody's face, then go get a cake and syrup and whipped cream and perform a food fetish in front of the whole congregation. There's nothing spiritual about this man. Nothing. And he made sure that food didn't get on his shoes and his cufflinks and things like that. He made sure he stayed clean because he wanted to make sure he didn't ruin his $2,000 shirt.
And let me tell you something. He earlier in this video, he taps the brother to let the brother know, I'm about to do this. Are you ready? And this brother, this has obviously been rehearsed before. And this brother went along with it. This is so evil. This is so evil. You know what I mean? It's so evil a sexual act. And he said it wasn't no sin. It is a sin. It is a sin. You having a sexual relationship with a man right on stage.
Right.
You exchanging saliva with another man right on stage. That is very against the Lord. Not to mention that he said a feminine
Yeah.
will not make it in the kingdom of heaven. And listen, he's taking his time to make sure that they able to handle this shit that he about to do. Like, he got a clear agenda. It'll be all faggots running that church in a minute. If not, if they ain't already. Black women, look at this disgusting shit here. This is the first time I'm seeing the Salaki. Oh, look at that. That's enough. I'm good.
Yeah, Salaki, sir. Salaki.
You going to stop that, please?
Yeah.
Nasty motherfucker here, boy.
Salaki General.
But so like I see exactly why you say what you say. Was like, I pray the Lord give us the power to really wake up our people, because the level of brokenness that you have to be as the man that let that other man put, that's not only just gay, but that's obvious.
Yeah,
it's obvious he gay, but the level of brokenness that you have to publicly stand up there and let that man put that his saliva and in your face is my mind is not even computing or comprehending how this is somebody could let this happen like this. And it's like, I don't have to understand it. I just see Khan, I don't want Khan. It just had to, my Khan, I don't want Khan is going to have to amp up so we can bring Christ back, because that shit got to go. So like that cannot happen. And we think, we in a good space. We are in a bad space for this to happen. And he got a whole congregation circus, stadium worth of people that sat there, and nobody, he liked food so much. Somebody should have threw a damn tomato at him up there, like, boo, get that shit off the stage. Like, nobody pushed back against it. Nobody yelled out. Like, everybody was just brainwashed in that moment to let that happen. That's scary to me. How that went uncontested like that. Like, nobody said nothing. It went uncontested. That's, to me, that is very scary for that to.
And if I could add to you, Kazak, it should be frightening, because now I'm convinced that it's a brainwashing program for this reason. If you notice that he had the brother there dressed in a particular way. Now, that brother that was standing there with him is also a homosexual.
Right.
But he purposely had him standing there and dressed in all black and a cap, looking like he's from the hood. And the reason he had him dressing that way was to make this point, that this homosexuality that I push, talking about himself, is strong enough to subjugate even hardcore thugs. Like, he's full of demons, and that sends a lesson to the women in that congregation that I'm more powerful than that thug nigga you desire. That old brother in the hood that you sleeping with on the side or sleeping with in your house, which is righteous that you do, that he's more powerful, that he's above him, that he can desecrate him too. Right. He in essence is desecrating anything that those black women might hold dear. If they hold dear having a man and having a masculine man, he's there to show them, I'm gonna desecrate him. If you like this temple, or you like this Bible, I'm here to desecrate that. That the only thing you can listen to is me. Like that right there was, such a construct that he put together. And it also shows us that it's not just random. This is not just some faggot that's being random. These things he sat down and thought about and put together and knew what his goal was. He understood that he had an evil goal in doing all this, you understand, and carried out that evil goal. Yeah. That is a wicked ass dude.
Yeah.
And a wicked ass program. And dress that dude up like that. And if you don't got to do it now, but if you go back and look at the tape, in the beginning, he shakes the brother's elbow. to try to get him focused, to try to let him know, listen, I'm about to do this. Are you up for it? And the Jake nods his head slightly like, I'm good to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead, I'm good to go. And that's when he goes and does that disgusting thing that he does. Like that's how you brainwash women into being in that congregation and getting and taking all their money. Like that's how you do it. And women is just so silly. They just don't have no idea. They don't believe anybody can swindle them when everybody can swindle them. They don't believe that, everybody can out hustle me and tell me a lie and game me up and gaslight me and totally fool my dumb ass. Like they don't think like that. And because of it, it's exactly what happens. And this is an example of it. He put a whole show on to desecrate masculine men. To show people, like, why would you feel a need to show your congregation that? And you can best believe there are some homosexual psychologists, you understand, in the backgrounds advising him on how and what he should preach on. Like that's not coming out of a boy. He ain't thinking about this just at home by itself. This is an orchestrated program,
right?
To take several effeminate men and totally break the congregation of women, which in essence gives black men no strength. You got no strength because you ain't over your kids. You got no strength because you don't have the helpmate. The Lord said it's not good that man be alone. It ain't good for a man to have to go through the earth and not have a helpmate. And so the Lord tried to give us a helpmate, but these bastards want to take that helpmate away and take away our families and children and make us, a nomadic man so that they can just slaughter us at will. This shit right here is no way he could ever survive in a kingdom run by black men.
That's right.
Or there would have been riots in the street after black men saw this. They would have went up there, dragged him out that church themselves. Not saying that we should do that now, but they certainly would have done it at the time. They would have dragged him out of that church out, and they would have really harmed him. And once again, all of this is able to be done because we're under the boots of Esau. They talking about Trump pushing martial law and all that. Martial law is going to stop. It's going to take the gloves off. Meaning they're going to start to do us great harm, but we at the same time, we're going to start to govern ourselves. Well, it ain't going to go good for these type of cats. I yield.
Yeah.
If I could, sir.
Please,
Like I'll be quick. Like we can't even stand to watch that video. I don't know how the people in the church could stand or stomach to sit in that church and watch that. Yet they can't pass by on the street and hear us speak the words of God. They hear us speak the words of God. They gotta flee. But they could sit down and watch a whole sermon where a black man spit in the face of another black man, and they can feel comfortable. That to show you how disgusting the Christian church is and how they've been trained to accept the darkness. But the minute we start speaking the truth in the street corners, it's like we're saying the most. They can't stomach it. You know what I mean?
And that's why it can't be built by women. It can't be built. It got to be built by men, because once again, he orchestrated that whole putting saliva on that man's face to make sure that those women in that congregation did not turn to men on the street. Like now, when she walks down the street and hears you teaching the word of God, she, in her subconscious mind, she thinks about how he rubbed saliva on that man's face, and she has less respect for you as a man, because in her mind, you're the same. You're the same type of hardcore man that just let somebody put saliva on his face. So why respect you? And so she walks down the street and thinks that her preacher is more powerful than you or more greater than you. Like that's a perfect brainwashing program. Like that's how you keep a congregation for 20 years listening to bullshit every Sunday. You get it by brainwashing them into believing that you are the only one that he's supposed to answer to, and that they're supposed to look at, and that everything you do is what's important. And what them brothers on that street are doing, what the masculine men are doing, or that brother whispering in your ear at the train station, trying to win you over, they're nothing, because I'll put semen all over their damn face if I want to. Like, that's what's being taught to those black women. You know what I mean? And it has made a mess of the congregation. And they know that them black women are going with them brothers. They know them brothers is getting them women, and them women are chasing them brothers because they know that that woman needs to have a man. They know this, but he's making it almost like what you're doing with that man is evil. It's like me spitting in this man's face was disgusting, but I know the things y'all do with saliva. In other words, I know that you having sex with your man, with some dude or maybe some guy that you're not married to, which is way more righteous than the shit he's doing. But he makes it out like, I know you a sinner worse than me. I was gross, but what you're doing is an actual sin because you sleeping with a man, which is the whole idea. That's the whole, it's such a wave of utter damn destruction out. You know what I mean? Like, that's such a wave of, psychological poison that we've been under for so many years, which is why the Lord had Moses bring the children of Israel out of Egypt. Like, these people here got to be taken out of Esau's hand. You understand what Christ is going to do so that they could just even begin to recover. You know what I mean? Then what our job is to recruit both the prophets and their wives and families to prepare to lead this people in such a, profound way. Because in this place here, I mean, with homosexuals like him being financed by God knows who, they could be being financed by the government. We don't know. How do we know? We know the government we know that now that we saw how that welfare program was, they went, how much trouble they had to go through to put that program together, to put all the rules and parameters together in that program just to destroy us and get black men out the house. So what's to say they wouldn't spend just the same amount of money to construct these homosexual-led churches for that very same reason? To keep the brainwashing going in the minds of these women to turn against their men. Like, once again, I saw it with them Jehovah's Witnesses, and it was an awakening for me that I did not even know I was having. Like, at the time, I was confused by it because, of course, I didn't follow any religion. So I was confused by why this was happening. And I couldn't understand it until I came into the truth and found out. And then I realized, well, damn, they did this on purpose. Like, there's no way that the Jehovah's Witnesses didn't know that these women that they were gathering in these temples were actually being taken away from their families and their husbands and throwing their husbands in the street. Like, they did. There's no way they did not know that. You know what I mean? And so either it was financed and propagated by the government, or some very ingenious, evil white men got together and made this situation happen. Either way, it was definitely it was a targeted attack on black women and black families through religion, and that is exactly what's going on in these black churches. Why is it that the homosexual preacher seems to rise to the top in every case? He seems to make it all the way to the top in damn near every case, and is looked at, and is well financed, and on and on and on. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And so these churches now they're getting hit bad. You know what I mean? Like, they're getting hit bad because people are leaving them in droves, and they can't understand why. The brainwashing program got stopped after the pandemic. The pandemic broke the witchcraft on them. Once that pandemic came, the witchcraft got crushed, and now they was in a state of confusion. Salaki, I yield.
Concept. And just to add to what you're saying too, sir, like, a few things. Like, he's so nasty. he comparing what you do, yeah, I mean, Lord knows in the bedroom to what he doing on the altar, so-called altar of the Lord. I mean, sure
Yeah.
last years. You understand? And I'm
Yeah.
convinced, and I'm convinced that, you know what I mean, people that go into church, they are basing church on the opinion of their pastor, not the Bible.
You're right.
They're not basing the church on the Bible. They're
Yeah.
basing the church on the opinion of your pastor.
Yeah.
You understand? Because if you open the Bible and you read, you understand, Christ didn't do what he did. And
Yeah.
that dude wasn't blind. He didn't do no miracle.
Yeah.
You understand? What he did was some nasty act to see how far he could push, to see what resistance he's going to get from his congregation. This
Yeah.
dude literally could do almost anything, and his congregation going to be like, well, you know what I mean? They don't forgive him. You
So true.
understand? You know what I mean?
So-
He can't say, he literally programming. He done learn from what Eddie Long did. He done learn from it, and now he's trying to master it to make sure he don't fall like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is crazy. You know what I mean? That's why every time you open the Bible and you show a Christian it, they're going off the opinion of the pastor or whoever the preacher is. Well, my preacher, no, he said this. Did you ask him the question? Well, no, but he said this. Like, come on, open the Bible. Let's read it. Let's go and see when Christ did this. And let's correlate it to what he did.
Right.
You understand?
When they ain't concerned with none of that. They concerned with putting this in black women's mind. And the average person going to church, over time going to that church will develop and has developed a constant suspicion of black men as though that they're a little grubby, evil thing that has to be well managed or he'll be out of control. Like they treat black men like they got to relegate him like a child to labors, chores around the house, because otherwise, he'll get out of control. And that they should have control. Like there's a vibe on these black women, almost almost like you are the little sexual, thirsty, evil animal, and they have to work with you because they need your help, but they got to control you in a certain way, and it's just a insidious evil. It's the evilest thing going on in the black community. Because once again, like we brought out on the show Monday night, because of this is the reason we have abortions. This is the reason we have a proliferation of homosexuality. All of it is coming out of this church, and the entire way that things are being taught. Like you take away that and you fixed, it is why these women are coming out and becoming the biggest recruiters of gang members. They learning in church to hate black men, throw black and Latino men out the house. Then after you get rid of them, you raising kids that you cannot raise on your own because you're working all day. So the kids get raised up in the streets, and our sons become gangbangers because they ain't got no dad around to guide them away from it. And so now that construct called the Christian church, it has so many benefits for Esau. We kill our own babies off. We send the rest of them to be gang members and drug dealers or drug addicts. You know what I mean? On top of that, the older black men get left out in the street or allowed to come in like a dog that better behave when he comes inside your house. You know what I mean? So it's a real foul thing, but they doing their best in that church. That church is the biggest destruction of black men and Latino men that has ever been set up on this damn earth. You know what I'm saying? I yield. Mashak, it's 1:30, man.
Kind of shit. You know what I mean?
I had to get up out of here, huh?
I said, Khan said, we'll definitely need it with the extra time to water too. So,
hey, the water y'all come, man.
General, allow next week if you could. I won't put in a request if you could go more into that statement and the post you made about the gangs, the women recruiting for the gang.
Oh yeah, I would love to go into it. Like black women have because they've been taught in church to not think that they are guilty of anything.
Right.
They have no idea how well recruiters they are for gangs. Like gangs are snatching up their sons and daughters like it's an open recruitment. Because you at work 8 hours a day, really 10 hours if you want to add the travel time. You at work 10 hours of a 25-hour day. You sleeping for about 8 hours. That's it. That's 18 hours out of 24. You got 6 hours a day to feed yourself, clean your clothes, pay your bills, watch whatever entertainment you're going to watch so that you can recuperate for the next day and deal with all your problems and all your children. Like that's an impossible task to think that you can successfully raise children in that manner. Some women have been stellar and been able to do it. Those that have not should never be charged for it because there's really no way for them to do it. But, and then like you said, we'll talk about more of it next week, but they would have you believe that they are not the reason for that, but they're the reason for it. While you at work and have given hell to that man, that gangbanger is, scooping up your son. Somebody put a tape out. One of the brothers put a tape out this week. I don't know how true it is, but it's a tape of that guy, Charleston White. And he's talking about how Boozy had some 15-year-old kid murder like 3 or 4 people, and now he's doing life in jail. And I don't know if it's true or not, but if it's true, then that's a perfect example. It's a perfect example of what we're talking about. Like, how did this 15-year-old? I mean, when I think about what I was doing at 15, golly, how did this 15-year-old kid become a 3-time murderer? Meaning he had nobody to intercede. Nobody with real power and authority to intercede and stop him. So he became a victim of the streets like so many others do. And what black women don't realize is that it starts with you in your 20s when you decide that you're no longer going to be under the authority of that man. You ain't thinking of what is going to happen 10 years from now. 10 years from now, I'm going to be sending money. I'm going to become a hardened beast because I'm going to send money to my son's commissary twice a month. And I'm going to have to suppress the horrifying pain that I feel because my wonderful son, whom I loved and dressed up and kissed and hugged every day with his book bag on his back, is now sitting in a cage with ruthless killers, and I have to send him money and talk to him on the phone, and I have to suppress how horrible it makes me feel. So now I become a hardened, hardcore, rock hard beast. And I go to church every Sunday to get some relief. But in essence, I live this life. And that, brother, destroys black women and definitely destroys black men. And it's all because, 1, black men are not taught what they need to be taught. And 2, because Esau has given them the power to throw us in the street. And so it's a nightmare scenario of what causes black women to be great recruiters of gangbang. And not just that. You know what I mean? All the independent actions, namely through those churches, have done magnificently for Esau. Because of course, if all the black women are in church and throwing black men out the house and becoming great in pushing young boys into gangs, that means that they're also pushing them into prisons, which means they're also making Esau rich off of making new slave labor and keeping those prisons filled. Like the black woman has no idea how much she's being used to keep this thing going. In her mind, everybody ain't doing the right thing. Most of the time, in her mind, black men ain't holding a job. Black men ain't taking care of their kids. Black men ain't doing this and ain't doing that. And meanwhile, she at no time realizes that she's in the middle of it, using the power of the state to oppress and suppress black men's authority and black men's clarity on what it is that they're supposed to be doing. She has no idea. She's just totally, she's like a sheep to the slaughter, like the Lord said. But yeah, we should get into it more if we could next week, because it's such an important topic for us to this day.
Come on.
We can end the gangs overnight. We just bring the fathers back.
Right.
Bring the fathers back and teach the black woman one thing that she believes she should never have to do, and that is shut her fucking mouth. Excuse my French. Like the average black woman goes to work, is respectful to the boss, follows what he says even if she doesn't like it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Carries out the job with precision according to all the rules that is, down to the dress code that the job requires you to have. You obey that. You go through the trouble of fixing your hair at night. You go through the trouble of ironing your clothes every morning. You go through the trouble of dressing up, getting on them trains early in the morning where the sun barely gets up and goes all the way till the sun goes down. And then you come home to a man who, and this is how dumb it is, in many cases, you come into a man who's also bringing you a paycheck. Like he gets a paycheck and brings it into your house to help pay your bills. Like not only are you physically going out and working, but you're getting a free paycheck. You got another human being that is willing to go get you a second paycheck, meaning he's going to do the work you would have to do, and he's going to bring you a second paycheck. So you're going to get doubly paid, and instead of treating that brother who's bringing you the other half of your wealth the same way you treat the boss who's giving you the first half of your wealth, you treat that brother like garbage.
Right.
You treat him like God. He's bringing you a paycheck too. He's bringing you a paycheck with no labor. You get to not even have to go. Like you don't have to go to his job and work on them water pipes or that construction place. You don't got to do that. But you still get the paycheck as though you did. You still get it. And instead of you helping raise the kids and taking some suggestion from this man, because you go to church on Sunday, you learn to hate his authority. You learn to turn on him. When I'm giving you the same thing you're getting from your job already. Why would you treat me any less?
Right.
Why would you treat a man any less than you would treat, your boss when you're getting a paycheck from him too? But instead, no, he got to be abused. You're going to do everything right on your job. You ain't even going to let nobody make you late. You ain't going to let him keep you in the bed past the time you got to get up to go to work.
Right.
You ain't going to never let him convince you to take a day off. You're going to be on that job. I need this job. I got to pay these bills. But then the check you getting from him, that check is expendable. You could lose that check. Or more realistic, you don't believe you will lose that check even if you abuse him. Like if black men treated black women the way their boss treated them, there would be almost no relationships.
Right.
Like if black men said, you got to dress the way I tell you to dress because I'm bringing you a paycheck. You got to talk the way I tell you to talk. You got to be here when I tell you to be here. You got to use these skills. You got to be on top of it. That's all that is being told to her at her job.
Right.
From the day she go to that job, if she did that with that husband, that would be fair and just. Like black women need to learn. You get two paychecks as a black woman. You get one from the job from your slave master, and you get one from your husband who actually loves you and is giving you kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now, since you're getting both paychecks, treat him like you treat the job. You know what I'm saying? As simple as that. Treat him like you treat the job. You know what I mean? Like you don't come into the job and motherfucker, you don't do that.
Right.
Because you know you're gonna get fired. So why treat him like that? And why shouldn't he leave your dumb ass for doing that? Why shouldn't he walk out the door and take his paycheck with him when you don't treat him like you treat the job?
Right.
So I know I ran a little long on it, but like you said, we get into it next week because there's so many more facets to that dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many facets to that dynamic.
Yes.
And these days it's almost impossible to find, because of the brainwashing, it's near impossible to find a sister that can see through that nonsense. That can, really be able to be taught her way past it. You damn near got to start with a baby to raise her up in the mindset that frees, that doesn't allow her to become brainwashed into that mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But boy, like we get our women back and we're going to be, 3 times as strong as we are now as a people. You know what I mean? We get our women back, you know what I mean? Like being a protector, having a natural built-in protection spirit is such an asset for Black women. Like such an asset for her, an asset that she totally rejects because of brainwashing. Like men are natural protectors, but with that protection also comes rules. And it's not that you can't follow rules; you follow them every day on your job. So it ain't like you don't know how to follow rules. You do know how to follow rules. You just don't apply them rules to him, and that comes from going to church on Sunday. You know what I mean? So we better wrap this up. We running into 2 o'clock in the morning. People gotta go to work. We're gonna have to change the day on this back to Saturday where everybody can stay up or something. I don't know. We got to come up with something. Think about it for a minute. All right. We better get out of here.
Definitely. Salaki, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say because we be here all night. You know we love to talk, pal.
Hey, General, I just want to say to Wallace and you for coming on.
Hey, most time praise, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all having me. You know what I'm saying?
And also, too, I just want to, of course, I wanted to mention it earlier. I just want to lift a glass to Officer Shaw in Trinidad. He lost his father today.
Man.
Father passed. His father was old, old in age. And Officer, he definitely took care of his father all the way to the end. He called for get the whole thing, took care of him, and he buried his sister last year around the same time too. He's a solid brother. I don't know if you remember, Officer Shah's father was the brother a few years ago. He was walking home with the groceries, and a guy from the area, he mentally unstable, robbed the father.
I remember.
Had sent down, the groceries. You replaced his groceries and sent the brother to the brother who did the offense, and they spoke to him and told him, "Don't never touch this brother ever again in life." That's the brother right there. His father passed today. So
wow, no sign Christ. You know what I mean? May he rise in power, Shaw. May he rise in power, Warrior.
That's right.
Damn right.
Right, so for sure. You know what I mean? So, that was it. So for coming on, Lord Allah, we get down to the Passover, Houston, April 4th. You all know how we do. Pay your Passover fee and your tithes, man. ISUPK.com. Alawa Panya. Barak.
Yahaba Kimmy al Shabraka thumb. Water again, Akim.
Come on,
The ISUPK presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. You do not want to miss this one, Israel. Shalom.